Welcome to the Clear Shots Podcast with Seth Skinner and Jake Jones.
Hey everybody, it's Seth from Clear Shots, and today you're listening to episode 70 with our good friend Joe. Clear Shots is sponsored by Anchor. When I was trying to start this podcast, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show onto all the apps everyone listens on? How do I make money from the podcast? And the answer to all those questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free. It's ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. This means you can get paid to podcast right away. Their mobile app is super cool. You can record, edit, and post your podcast directly from your phone. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast and make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/START. That's anchor.fm/start.
Don't give them clear shot. Don't give them clear shot. Don't give them clear shot. Don't give them clear shot.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody.
Did we start?
We started. It has to open with a crack of a beer.
All right, we have our friend. Are we going to use your real name or your Facebook name?
You can call me whatever you'd like to.
We have the Ghost of Perdition on Steam on today.
We call you by your Steam ID.
I like that.
Steam IDs only. I'm Jake's Casey.
I did put our Steam IDs on the website.
I saw that. Yeah. I was wondering why lately I've been getting like Steam Guard notifications.
Yeah, everybody's trying to get in there.
They're like, I gotta play more now.
Dude, that Steam Guard shit is so annoying. Like, I feel like every time I try to sign in, it's like, oh, here's a 7-digit code that you have to go to your email for. It's like, dude, I'm just trying to sign. Like, just remember me.
Right, yeah.
It does on my phone all the time. On the computer, it just signs you right in. But it's like, anywhere else, there's like a fucking detour you have to make just to get to the Steam store.
I haven't been able to sell anything on the CSGO marketplace for like a month and a half because of all this red tape. Oh, you haven't bought anything in like a month. Oh, you haven't usdo the authenticator for 7 days. I'm like, oh my God, just want to sell this sticker capsule for $5.
They're like, change your password.
Yeah.
What do you, how does that work? The marketplace on there?
It's like an auction house.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you just get skins and shit from playing the game and then you sell them?
Yeah, essentially.
Or you can...
loot
I
boxes.
just found out the other day that Steam has those fucking weird things that you sell, like those little badges.
Yeah, or like...
Oh, you can sell
achievements
those?
and shit. I guess, for like 4 cents a piece.
Yeah, certain games like Killing Floor does it, Mountain Blade Warband. I think every game almost. If you get an achievement, you get like a card, like a trading card. Mm-hmm. You can sell badges, though?
I don't understand. No, they're like, yeah, that's what they are.
The trading cards?
Trading card things.
Yeah.
I don't understand what the point of them is, though.
You can turn them
turn
them into badges, and it makes your Steam profile page look cool. That's literally the whole thing.
Okay.
That's why, like pro gamers, when you go to like,
I gotta get on there right now. Get that Steam Guard shit going.
When you go to like the Steam profiles for like pro gamers or whatever, their profiles are like wicked jazzed out and shit like that.
That's the way to do it.
That's the only way. I mean, I think the classic Steam look is the best.
Yeah, that's
It's distinguished.
You got the midnight black.
Yeah, dude.
Right.
I've never seen a decked out one, but I only have like 13 friends on Steam, so.
Yeah. I know, I've had the same Steam account.
Most of them don't even play, so it's like...
Yeah.
How old am I? When did 300 come out? 2005?
06?
I've had the same Steam account since like 2010.
Yeah, that sounds the same for me too. About 8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've only had this one for 4.
Yeah, so I have so many... I think most of my friends are probably dead on Steam. Like, for real. Yeah. Like,
I met them in 1.6 and they were 50 already, so now they're dead.
Last online 6+ years ago.
Oh, rip.
I think, is that what it says? Like, I think it actually gives you the number of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure I got a couple. Like, I know fucking Schwalik.
Yes, hasn't been on for
offline
years.
for so long.
I have 2 of his accounts friended, and both of them inactive for years.
It's hilarious.
I think it's funny that some like
It's like, I don't know if people need to know that they've been off for that long,
No.
Just say offline.
Just inactive,
Yeah.
forget about it.
delete this profile.
on PS3 it said last seen. Did any of you have a PS3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Instead of saying last online, I would say last seen.
Well, it says last seen, and like it'll give you the app that they were using or whatever. Usually, I think
Back in the day, like in the beginning, before it got cool, the PS3 layout.
I didn't have
when
PS3, but I know PS4 does that still.
Yeah.
I think.
It used to be like I made an account with Wes when I was like 10 when I first got a PS3. I used it once and then never remembered the sign in, so I had to make a new one.
Yeah.
But I added it to like a bunch of other people's accounts that weekend or whatever. But it's funny because it'll be like Super Noob last seen several years ago.
Several is such a generic.
It's fucking crazy. But
I think my phone's on.
Yeah.
My phone's been blown up today. I just got called for an interview at National Grid for tomorrow.
That sucks.
And you should have taken that call, right?
No, I called. No, they called me earlier. I called them back already. So it's locked in.
So what are you going to be doing there? Like National Grid stuff?
Yeah, probably.
Oh.
That's what they do, I think.
What do they do there again? They make like graph paper, right?
Yeah, they like cut hair and shit. I think.
Oh, that's where you work, National Grid.
Yes.
National
we
Clips.
do only grid like haircuts.
Yeah,
The
grid
grid.
style.
So if you want a chessboard or something like that, we'll carve that into your.
The
like
Maryland-
a
the
2x4
Maryland
or like a
flag.
4x4, the 4x4 squares.
Yep.
Like those blue squares that you got taught how to count with in elementary school.
Yeah. Those were so
Blue
useless,
squares.
man. The little blue things,
Yeah,
right?
little blue cubes.
Why? You
What?
use them.
You know what I'm
I
talking
don't
about?
remember those.
You don't remember those? Oh my god, yeah, you do.
Blue cubes.
Yeah.
Like dice?
Pretty
No,
much.
yeah, I
Much
guess
smaller. A small one would be like ones, and then you'd get a stick that's like 10. It'd be a tens place or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you've got a flat panel for 100, and then there was a 3D cube.
No, I don't remember.
So
that.
pointless,
Like an
man.
abacus? That's all I can think of.
I'm trying to pull it up now, but my phone.
I must have been the year they forgot about
Realized
those, and
they
then
were
they came
pointless.
back to them.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
those
These
things.
You have no idea.
Really?
Oh, I kind of remember
Were you
those.
just in OTPT all the time at FitShoe? dude?
I kind of remember those, but I don't remember what we ever used them for. Though.
I
Exactly.
used them up until like third grade. I remember a kid had to get sent to the nurse's class because he ate one. Like he took the 10 stick and just bit into it and chewed it up and swallowed, which is crazy because those things are like a hard plastic. Like
I like that you called it nurse's class.
it's a nurse's class. She had to go to the nurse's class.
Yeah. That's what period was that?
Once a month, I think.
I can't tell you how to get that cube out of your mouth, but I can teach you how. I can't do it for you, but I can teach you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta really coax them into it.
The kid is just like cutting his own stomach open like a saw trap. Like
Yes, good, Billy. Yep, you got it. Keep going.
Yeah,
oh
that's
my
classic.
god. Yeah, man.
I remember just going to the nurse's office, just like making shit up, just because I was.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, maybe my mom will
absolutely.
come pick me up.
Yeah.
You know? I'm in middle school, so I might as well try and worm my way out of this. It's not like I'm learning anything.
I was too scared.
To go to the nurse's office.
Well, yeah, because I would have had a better day sick at school than sick at home. Like, I don't know. You had a better problem. I wasn't allowed to do anything.
That's
If I was
grim.
sick, if I was sick at home, it was you're in your room all day.
Yeah.
And we're gonna give you one can of chicken noodle soup.
Well, you could
and
pull out
here's
the Game
Channel
Boy
7.
Advance.
No, couldn't.
Yes,
Oh no,
GBA.
couldn't
No?
do that, dude. No, I wasn't allowed to play video games during the week.
Yeah, but they ain't gonna know.
Every Sunday after dinner, I had to take all my video game consoles and give them to my parents. Up until I was like 16, dude.
That's a lot of work.
Wow,
dude.
that is a lot of
Unplugging
work.
them and
Just
all
take
that
the
shit.
power cord.
Yeah.
That's what my dad did.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you always had like the other power cords that you could.
Yeah, because my dad used to take the whole thing and put it in his closet, and I knew he put it in the closet, so I'd just go get it.
Nice. Nice.
It's like if you just take the power cord, it's easier to hide.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Put it in the truck. Take it with you to work.
Yeah. Instead of taking out the red, the yellow, the white.
Dude, I had to unplug everything and put all the cords and all the systems away.
Yeah.
What they should have done was taken the controllers.
Yeah,
I feel
how are you
like
gonna
that's
control
way
it?
more sensible.
Yeah.
Back then, it definitely was.
Yeah, because they were
Nowadays,
wired.
you could just emulate a fucking controller with your phone or
That's
something.
true.
Oh, yeah.
Like a Bluetooth.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could, right? Because those new Xbox controllers are Bluetooth.
Parents who are listening, don't listen to him. That's not real.
Dude, I remember I learned how to connect.
Let's be real, no parents are listening.
No. I learned how to hook up a modem because my parents took the internet away when they left for the day. It was like a Saturday and I was grounded. I was grounded all the time as a kid. I was just talking to Sean about it yesterday. I was grounded all the fucking time as a kid.
Yeah, you were doing some shit, dude.
Dude, I was literally just not getting good enough grades. But it was like I was getting better grades than my peers, but I wasn't getting
Not good enough.
Not good enough. I told the story already about how I got grounded for 5 weeks in high school because I missed high honor roll by 0.05 of a point. I had an
that's harsh.
89.95, and I missed high honor roll by that much because it's a 90.
You should have worked
Grounded
harder,
for 5 weeks. But anyway, they disconnected the modem, which is fucked up because, like, what if something happened at the house and I had to call, like, for an emergency? Because the phone line wouldn't have worked, right?
Oh.
Isn't that how phones work? I don't know. Internet was down. I found the modem and hooked it up, but I was stupid because I forgot to disconnect it when they got home. And when they got home and saw it was
so
hooked
they
up,
knew.
they were
Phones
like,
have never been more useless than when the internet first came out, right? I feel like when anyone was on the internet, you couldn't call anybody.
That's right.
And you only had landlines.
That's
so there
right.
was no mobile phones.
Yeah.
So you could
It's a
it was
bit
rough
before my
trying to
time.
get a hold of somebody.
yeah, I
Because
guess
they were probably trying to like download a fucking PNG file or whatever. For like
Everybody was just trying to download that Farrah Fawcett poster, like a
Playboy.com.
200 by 100,
Yeah.
or that like dancing baby AVI.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
I do remember that.
That was the best. It was like this.
Yeah, that was before like Jib Jab and all those like those websites that came out with just shit you can like mass email to people, like giant groups of people. And if you were a grandma, that was your shit, you know.
Dude, I remember
Those virtual greeting cards.
Oh, yes.
Those are great.
Man, I still get those on
Whoa.
Facebook sometimes from some of my older relatives.
Virtual
It's
They
like,
exist.
come
cards.
on.
What,
Yeah.
like the Elf on a Shelf or whatever?
Yeah, basically.
Like when they Photoshop people's faces on the dancing
Yeah,
characters.
that definitely was one
That
of
shit
them.
still happens.
Yeah. Those are great though, you know.
The
But
best
nowadays like they deep fake everything and it looks super real.
yeah.
It's hilarious.
What were the virtual greeting cards? I don't remember that.
You'd create it on a website, and
Yeah.
it's really just like
There was like 2 parameters that you
Right,
define.
yeah, a name and like what your name was,
And it looked like a
sincerely.
Hallmark card
Yeah,
or something.
kinda, yeah. And then
Basically,
you'd
yeah.
instant message your AOL the link to it. You're like, oh, I made you a greeting
Yeah.
card. You click
With-
it.
it's
Like,
like-
yeah, cool.
Yeah, it was basically like a
Jesus.
GIF.
Yeah,
And like and it would have
okay.
like wicked horrible music playing in the background,
Oh my
like all
God.
spotty and shit.
yeah.
I remember when we got a good computer that you could actually use on the internet at our house. My parents still had AOL, was like the only web browser. They still paid
Yeah.
for it up until like recently. Like I'm not even kidding. They paid for AOL until
worth
like
it, dude.
5 years ago.
Wow.
But they had the thing called AOL for Kids, and it was literally like the browser was like mini games built into the browser, and it was just like Space Pinball and shit, or like Solitaire built into the web browser. But then in the web browser, in there,
Yeah. That's the sign language.
they
for
were
a web
like
browser.
maybe I could find what it was like, but. You couldn't type in a web address. It was all shortcuts. So that way I couldn't go on to like Newgrounds or Addicting Games or E-Bombs World or anything
Yeah,
bad
that was big back
like
then.
that. And
What was I used to play like in elementary school. I used to play that snowball fight game all the time.
my God,
yeah,
that Flash
absolutely.
game.
oh yeah. Well, I was gonna say
That game's on phones now. You can play that on your phone.
So is the
It
snowboarding
gets
one.
stupid hard because
Yeah.
there's
Oh,
like
yeah.
200 of the green dudes, and you can only move one at a time.
It was like a mini clip game,
Yeah,
right?
I used to just drag the rest of my team way down into the corner so they couldn't reach me, and then have the one guy just go rogue and like fire at everybody. It's a great game, dude.
Yeah, it kind of looked like this, but mine looked way cooler. Mine looked like okay.
America Online. I played.
They looked like that. So each thing was a different hyperlink or a shortcut.
I gotcha.
But mine looked like a Doom level.
Oh my god!
Mine looked like futuristic and stuff. My dad
That looks like
my
an acid
dad
trip.
learned was it like HTML or whatever? You can
Wow,
customize
did he
it.
really?
I don't know. I think he just looked
It's
that
probably
up.
easier
Or had
back
somebody
then,
else
right?
do it. I
was a
remember.
lot less to fucking
well, it
deal
was like
with.
customizing MySpace and shit. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
it was
You did
easy.
have to do that.
It was pretty easy. My
Most
dad was
people-
probably the smartest person I knew with computers until like 2006. Then
Yeah,
all of a
people
sudden it
definitely-
was mega downhill. I mean, even nowadays I'm fucked with Windows 10, dude.
Yeah.
I'm so confused sometimes.
Yeah,
They
as soon as
should've
that
stopped at, like,
CMD,
XP.
as soon as the
yeah.
CMD prompt thing is up there, I'm like, which one? What do I do with this?
Yeah.
Because there's no like sometimes you need a space, sometimes you don't, and then there's an underscore sometimes.
Sometimes you need the file extension.
Yeah,
Sometimes you
yeah,
don't.
yeah. That's fucked up. Everybody though, when they had MySpace, they were all doing it because everybody had
dude.
MySpace
Oh my God, yeah.
themes. So
Definitely.
I mean, it was mostly copy and paste, but
Yes,
you had to know
exactly.
where. You had to know where, like in between the little what do they call those?
The
They're
brackets.
just like different
They're just
fields.
brackets, basically. Yeah.
I remember mine was so fucking unreadable because it was just the Dark Side of the Moon logo, like, like tiled all the way
Wait, it's
down.
blown way up. I remember when like I first realized you could customize desktops, and I was like always making it blow way the fuck up because I didn't really understand. The tile looked shitty. Like the tile always looked shitty.
Yeah.
And I never had a big enough image, so I would just blow it up and it would look horrible.
Oh, I remember like fucking up. Like I didn't break the computer, but I fucked it up bad by downloading a program, and like it had to have been like 15 years ago. But you could get the custom mouses.
Oh, the
That
icons.
shit. Oh my
mouse
god,
pointers?
dude!
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That fucked every computer up that it was ever.
I always put mine as soon as I get a new computer. I put it on the inverted mouse style.
to fucking confuse everybody.
No, so it's like black if it's on white, and then it's
Oh yeah, okay. I thought you meant so it's pointing like the other.
no.
that'd be
That's like for
fucked.
lefties, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I do the same.
Do people
thing.
do that if they're left-handed with a mouse?
I know a few
I've never even
left-handers.
seen a
None of them
left-handed
do it.
mouse. Yeah.
I feel like there's one person out there,
There's got to be somebody. Yeah,
and it's that person is probably such a prick. Like,
Oh, absolutely. He just orients everything in his life backwards. Just, I'm left-handed.
it's their identity.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
They're waiting for their letter to be added to LGBT. Well, it's already there. L is already there. They're waiting for another L to be.
LH, yeah, L hyphen H.
They're waiting
or
for like
something.
LGBTQPOLH.
It's weird. I felt like playing guitar would have made more sense if I played it left-handed because I was right-handed and my fretting hand would be the right hand, which I would think is more coordinated.
I definitely agree.
You would
Yeah.
think that, but that's the other
But
way
then you
around.
try and play left-handed, and
Yeah.
you're like, "What is going?"
Well,
on?
yeah, you also need a left-handed guitar.
Well, yeah, but still, I
That would be so disorienting.
I cannot be precise with my left hand at all. It might as well not even be my hand.
It's weird though. Like, I learned how to golf and bat left-handed though, and I'm right-handed, so I swing this way, which is weird.
Okay, that is weird. Yeah.
Can you
I
cut
don't
hair
know why I
left-handed?
was taught that. though.
No. If I paid you, would you do somebody I don't like's haircut
Yes.
left-handed?
Absolutely.
All right, word. Oh. But I remember I got going back just a bit. There was like one thing I wanted to add. I got like past that AOL for kids thing by downloading Internet Explorer, and I always
Boom, done.
cleared the history, right? But my dad knew that I was using it because like every week there'd
if
be
the history's
another.
clear.
Well, there'd be another toolbar.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, gotcha.
So eventually the toolbars were like that deep,
I remember that.
and the
shit.
computer was fucked beyond belief. So bad.
Yeah. You'd have like
So
40
bad.
bookmarks on your
Oh
toolbar
my
for
god, it
some
was
reason.
so bad.
I
dude.
still have old bookmarks because like every time I switch a browser, it was always able to like import my old like bookmarks and shit. So I have like ones that are way not even existent anymore.
Yeah. That sucks too. When you like want to go to see something, because everybody's like, well, if it's on the internet, it's there forever. But like,
not really
eventually it won't be. You know?
I have to download Elf Bowling every year. You know what I mean? It's like, why don't I just leave it on the computer? It's always hard to find though.
You don't have it on disc?
No, that didn't come on disc. Did it come on disc? I don't think it was a physical thing.
I don't know. I always liked that game.
I played the Captain Crunchling Adventure the other day. It came with like Captain Crunch. It came in a box of cereal for computer.
I don't know.
And it's a terrible game. But there was a free trial of AOL online, so I figured I'd try it out.
What's the thing that we probably talked about this before, but I want to get Joe's perspective. What's the thing that like completely shattered your existence when it came out, like technology wise? It could be when you were a kid or even recently.
That's a good question. I know there's
in a good way or a
answer
bad
for
way?
that.
Both, I
that's
guess.
A really great question. Man, I know there's something out there.
Like I know that there's.
We'll come back to that. Let me think about that.
Yeah. Easily. I don't have an answer either. Really, I mean, other than like video game graphics, like still nowadays video game graphics blow me
I think
away.
it was just the internet. Honestly, like I just wanted a computer for so long, and then when I got one, I was like, I had it upstairs in my room, and I didn't have internet on it, so I couldn't really do anything with it. And then. So, because like I'd have to run like an Ethernet cable upstairs.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I always had like high hopes for the internet because I was like, I can't wait to have the internet and be able to do shit.
How old were you when you got your first computer?
I
Like
don't
you're
even
like a
fucking know.
personal one. You're like 10?
Probably, yeah, something like that. I think when I finally got Xbox Live hooked up on my original Xbox, that was like pretty groundbreaking because I was like, I'm playing Halo 2 with other people that are playing Halo 2. Mm-hmm. This is insane.
Yeah.
That guy's moving that way.
Yeah. And it actually works.
Yeah.
You know, the servers actually work.
Yeah. That was another thing I had to run an Ethernet cable upstairs for.
Yeah.
That took forever. It was just a pain in the ass. It's like you could have done it in a day, but it's like it just felt like it was like something you had to overcome.
Oh, yeah. I remember my friend's mom actually purchased me a network adapter for the PS2 because my friend wanted to play EverQuest Online Adventures.
I was gonna guess EverQuest Online Adventures.
And he didn't have anyone to play with, so she buys me the game and the network adapter. And I'm like, this looks really cool. Does it actually work? You know?
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool that you could actually hook your console up and play with people. And that was PS2. PlayStation 1, did they dabble with that at all? I don't think so.
Internet? I don't think
They
it was
might
the
have
the first game console.
They might have had
that-
an adapter, but like if they did, it's
Dreamcast
for like
was the first game that was
Yeah,
had a dial-up connection.
yeah. It
right?
had like Windows CE on it, actually.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, that's crazy.
dude, it was like actually pretty fucking revolutionary at the time.
Yeah,
They didn't have any licenses. Like
no.
they couldn't really get any popularity, and it was in that weird spot between like the big console releases.
Yes.
We talked about it when Dave was on.
Dude, there's still games on there that look really good.
I was gonna
Sonic
say-
Adventure 2 still looks wicked
Amazing
good.
game.
Yeah.
Crazy Taxi 2 was a ton of fun, and it's still like a decent looking game.
Dynamite Cop.
Yeah, dude.
You can beat that game in like a half an hour, dude.
NFL 2K,
What's
like
the
the 2K game.
Shenmue? Everybody likes Shenmue. I've never.
I don't know why everybody likes that. I've
Yeah.
never played it. 'Cause
It's like an
I've been,
adventure game. Like you don't really do anything.
Yeah, I
don't think.
I was never interested in that.
If Dave's listening, he's probably seething right
He's
now.
yowling.
Oh yeah. Dave showed
I-
me that game, and we beat it alongside each other.
Shenmue?
Like I have it. Oh no, I'm sorry, Dynamite Cop.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say
yeah.
Dynamite Cop's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
But I think he talked about Shenmue once, or maybe Krusty Ass did.
Well, didn't they like reveal like a new one or some shit, and like
Yeah,
everybody was like
they're
hyped
remaking
about it?
and everybody freaked the fuck out.
It was like last year at E3
Yeah.
or something.
I was gonna say, it had the Dreamcast. I watched a documentary about it, and they were talking about how one of the reasons it fell through so badly was because Sega was still in this mindset that like, oh, people want a home console so they can play arcade games at home, and a lot of their money was getting licenses for arcade games
Yeah.
to have them on a home console, and not really making AAA titles that were
Right.
like role playing games or
Well,
they had Sonic, but
it's like they also would have to pay all that money for all those fucking things.
yeah,
A lot of the sports games were big, and like they didn't really have those franchises licensed out.
no, it's pretty crazy when you look at the Genesis and when they came out with the first like Sonic games, how the Genesis just pops up and just kicks Nintendo's ass for like 2 years.
Yep.
And it's just it all starts at the top, I suppose.
It's funny because now people are buying like little arcade machines, like they're trying to go back to arcade games.
Yeah, my mom has one. She has a little handheld.
What are those called though? You can buy those like mini.
like
They're not
mini
like full size.
No,
but
they're not. I saw them at Walmart just the other day, actually, for
What
a
the
couple
fuck are they
$100.
called? Oh my god, arcade boxes,
Arcade
cabinets.
cabinets.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a specific.
Vinny and I were gonna buy one, and then we saw the price tag, and it is so expensive.
It's too much for what it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It comes with it's like a novelty. It's
It
something
is.
you would. It's something like you. It'd be cool like
It's
if
called
Good
arcade.
Guys bought one and they put one in. Well,
Arcade
no, I keep
one
forgetting you're not in this. I do like the new location. I do want to talk about Good Guys for a second. I love the new location.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
But it's like it's so open, and you guys have so many chairs now. It's fucking crazy.
12 of them.
Yeah. And
Where is it at? Right, where is it?
It's still in the Commons, but we have a storefront on West First Street.
Yeah.
So you walk in right from First Street.
okay.
You know where Andrew's Wine Cellar used to be?
Yeah,
That's Good Guys.
Taste the
now.
World just closed, right?
Yes, they did.
10 years.
It seems like there was a
9
lot of
years,
shit in
like
there.
that,
There was like a good chunk of things in there.
In Taste the World?
In that whole like,
Oh, in the Commons.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's double
there was maybe
lots and all that.
Yeah, you could fit a decent amount of shit in there.
We could get a studio in the Commons.
We played in there once.
in the Commons at Taste the World.
like in the hallway, like
Oh,
outside
really?
outside Taste the World.
That
yeah.
little, nice.
We played like an acoustic show.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was weird because somebody was, I think Jake was like friends with the guys from Taste the World or whatever, and people
Okay.
who owned it. They were just like, yeah, sure.
Oh,
just-
Jake Bear. I was like, he was talking about
right,
me.
that Jake.
Yeah, Jake Bear.
other
yeah.
Jake. Yeah, that
Big
was cool.
Jake.
That's pretty cool. But a friend of mine is actually opening up a coffee shop right there. And so there will still be delicious coffee being served from the old Taste the World location.
That's
So
sweet.
No worries there.
That's good. It sucks because I was just thinking about Taste the World like a week or so ago before I moved in because I'm like, oh, I'm on the west side now. It'd be so much easier for me to like go to Canal Commons. I'm like, I can go to Taste the World and Good Guys, and it wouldn't even like take anything out of my day.
Yeah.
Because like whenever I living on fucking East 11th,
Yeah.
but instead I'm on like East or West 5th and Bridge or whatever. But
You can Pokemon Go your way down to the Commons, get a cup of coffee and a haircut.
yeah,
Yeah,
Here's your
they have
morning.
a Pokestop down there.
yeah.
I wish, man. I wish we had a gym at the Good Guys.
Yeah.
That would be
There's
so
one
How do
like
you
a
do that? How do
crossover
you
at
get
the,
a gym in a location?
You used to be able to request, but they stopped taking requests a couple
They're
years
starting
ago.
to get back into that though, like only
be
for like
so
level
cool.
40 players and shit.
That'd be
Which I'm
hilarious
level
if you
40,
guys had a
so
gym.
I'll submit one for you.
That would be awesome, dude.
Is
They
that
have
max
one-
level?
Yeah, 40
You're
is
max level in Pokemon
I'm way
Go.
beyond it now. Like
Really?
way beyond it.
Fuck.
You added up your XP.
Oh yeah, you have the watch.
Yeah, I have like the
Nice.
gotcha or whatever.
Yeah,
and
those
it's
are
like
awesome.
automatic, so
Yeah.
it just throws Pokeballs at
Yeah.
shit when you're. So like,
Yeah, it's
if that
great.
was real life, it's just throwing Pokeballs out of your wrist at shit while you're driving.
It's like it's like an auto turret from like TF2. Like
Locks onto them and shit.
every like 30 minutes, you got to just smack the shit out of it with a wrench and then get back in your
I just
car.
have so many damn Pokeballs that like I might as well just waste them all on
Oh,
shit
yeah,
that
absolutely.
it doesn't catch everything. Like if it doesn't catch it, it automatically runs from you. But they
Oh,
have
okay.
like it's whatever. I have like 300 plus Pokeballs all the time,
Yeah.
so I'm just fucking. I might as well. It's like I don't need XP in that game anymore if I'm max,
Mm-hmm.
but
Some people are getting hardcore with that.
there's some people that are real hardcore with
Yeah,
that.
like about XP and stuff when they're past level 40. It's just
Yeah.
like, well, I have
There's
this
that
much.
dude Brandon Tan or whatever that lives. I don't even know where he's in, like over in fucking Asia or some shit somewhere. But he like has like 2 tablets and like a phone and like other
Oh
shit.
yeah.
There's
People
like a
around
dude.
town do that.
Yeah. There's some people that are hardcore just here,
Yep.
and there's not like a huge like. I mean, there's a decent community,
Yeah.
honestly.
It's definitely big enough. There's
Yeah.
one girl I know who drives around with 2 tablets and a phone, and
Yeah.
she's just It's crazy.
It's insane.
How are
They're
you
like,
that
yep,
deep?
I got a mobile hotspot. You guys can all hook up to me. It's really crazy.
That's crazy.
They're like trading in PvP and shit. It's funny because we tried to do. There was a kid that tried to set up a PvP tournament for it the other day at Convergence, and like no one went. There was like one guy.
Bummer.
Yeah. So like,
So he wins.
Yeah, he did win. He did. He was like 1v1 me.
On Rust.
No overshield. It's funny though because like there's a bunch of people that play it, but no one wants to do PvP.
I feel like a lot of people don't want people to know they still play it. I'm not trying to trash or anything, but people get made fun of so bad for playing it nowadays.
It's because it was huge, and
now
then
it's
all the
not.
people who didn't actually want to play it stopped playing it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
And
pretty
now
much.
they just make fun of it.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, you still play that?" It's like, "Well, yeah."
I got pissed
So
about
what?
something and uninstalled it, and I don't remember what it was. It was something about like I had like a bunch of 10 kilometer kilometer.
Those. Well, the shelters were probably running away from.
I had a
me,
bunch
you know
of
what I
10
mean?
kilometer eggs. Actually, no. I remember exactly what it was.
It was the shelter.
No. A bunch of my friends and I were super into it, and a couple of them still play it every now and then. We were super into it when it first came out, as was everybody.
Yeah, we were all like walking around the campus and shit. We
Yeah.
saw you walking.
I was
going to
say I ran into
I
you
remember
a
that.
couple times. Ran into you.
That was a good spot because you
Yeah.
could walk like the huge like loop, and there was
if you
stops
did
everywhere.
the campus like 2 times, it was like 10 kilometers.
or you
something
could
like
sit and like just have like 3 lures like,
Yeah.
out in front of the campus center.
Yeah.
I remember we went to the pier in Fulton, and it was me and like 6 of my friends, and one of them was brand new, and there was a Dragonite, and it was like 1200 or 1300 CP, which was insane when the game first came out.
Nice.
And everybody caught it except for me.
Oh, that's
And that's when I uninstalled the game.
yeah,
I
that's a
uninstalled the
bummer.
game immediately, dude.
I remember the first Dragonite I had. I was up at the park here, and it was like, I don't know, 11 o'clock at night, and you just see the shadow of the fucking Dragonite. You're like, oh my god, where is this thing? It was so intense when it first came out.
Oh, it definitely was.
Everyone was like running in groups to get a Vulpix or some shit.
Yeah.
I remember like me and Brian were running around one night trying to find a Vulpix. Like we ran like 7 blocks to try and find the thing because there was no way to find it. You had to, the tracker sucked.
You just had to figure it out, really. If it fell off your tracker, like, oh, I guess I got to go back to where I just was. you
Now
know?
it'll show you like the stop that it's
Yeah.
by.
And I don't mind that.
Yeah, I don't mind it either. It also like it gives you anything that's not in your Pokedex. It pumps it up to the first spot,
Yeah.
so you'll see.
Yes, I
anything
like
new.
that.
'Cause-
So I have 2 Pokemon Go stories that I love so much. First of them, real quick, was my first Dragonite. Was when the game first came out, and it's still my best Dragonite to this day.
Mine's like literally top 10, I think.
Yeah,
Still,
nice. This is like a 98% IV Dragonite I got when the game first came out, and there was a Dratini day too, so you could get
you could get
hundreds,
tons of them.
you know, and
and like
still
14 shinies.
Yeah, it's still my best one. I got it right in front of Wes's house. He wanted to borrow my.
I remember that.
Do you?
Yeah.
He wanted to borrow my Crybaby pedal, and I'm going up. I'm like, oh, shit. It's like right in front of his house. Boom, got it. Knock on his door. I'm like, you play Pokemon Go? He's like, no. I'm like, this is a Dragonite right there.
It's right there.
Yeah. Second one was actually a Dragonair, and I felt like I was an actual Pokemon trainer. This was so cool. I just got out of work.
Dragonair was almost more rare than the Dragonite
Definitely,
was.
I think so. I got out of work at 10. I'm driving home. I see the silhouette on my screen. I'm like, oh my God. So I go, it was near the river, so I'm doing the river walk. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's getting closer. It's getting closer. And like I'm getting closer to it, and I get to a point, I guess, southbound, and it gets to a no pedestrian part of the river walk. I'm like,
Shit, now
there's
you got a choice to make.
you
yeah,
gotta
so I'm
break the
looking
law.
around, it's like 11:30 at night. I'm like, no one's gonna see me. I hop the fence. I keep going. I'm like, yeah. And then there's this like small like jetty going off into the river, and I'm looking on my screen, and he pops up right at the end of the jetty. So like if you had like AR back then, you could look out, and he's like Dragonair's looking off into the river at the
Yeah.
end of the jetty. Like I'm like, this is so cool. It's like real life, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Dude, the AR's cool now though.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
The AR plus, you can like walk around them and shit.
yeah, very cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. You get like expert handler bonuses if you're close enough to them.
Holy shit.
It's
Oh,
getting
because they
pretty
can
cool.
run too if you get too
Yeah,
close.
yeah.
Nice.
Like, yeah, dude, I just do it here sometimes. If I get spawns, I'll just have him sitting there, and I'm like trying to like sneak around him and shit.
In your room?
Yeah, and he's just like, because I can never get close enough to him.
Where'd you go? You're locked into my room.
Yeah, you
Stuck
can't
here.
go anywhere.
Oh man,
It's fucking great, man. I like it just because you can like play it wherever you are, and it's fucking.
Yeah.
You're constantly like progressing at it. It's different from a lot of phone games, really.
Yeah. And it almost makes the DMV a tolerable place, you know, because you can whip that
that's
right
true.
out, throw some Pokeballs.
Yeah.
really? The DMV's a hotspot?
No, but it's something to do while you wait for 2 hours in line.
Yeah. Pop a like incense on or whatever. You know?
Sure.
Yeah.
They have new lures where you can get like certain types of Pokemon from them.
Okay. I
Like a
that.
metal type lure. So like if you evolve certain Pokemon near the lure, you get certain, like the Magnezone or whatever, that evolution of Magneton.
Mm-hmm.
You can only get it if you evolve your Magneton near that lure.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool.
That is cool.
I like a lot of the stuff they do. It's like they keep adding shit, so you can't really get super bored of it. It's mostly the same shit over and over.
Yeah.
Though. Especially once you hit 40, you're like, I don't know what to really. It's just fill your Pokedex out. But they're at like Gen 4 or something now, aren't they? I think it's
Yeah,
Gen 4.
I think they are. They're up there. They're definitely at a point where I'm no longer like familiar with the Pokemon.
Yeah, for sure. I stopped like after Emerald, and then I came back for like Sun or something like that. So there was that big gap. I want to play Pokemon Black and White. Like
I heard it's great.
I heard they're good.
I stopped at like Crystal or Silver, Gold, and Crystal.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's
and then
way
I started
back.
playing
It's
again
Gen 2.
with Gen
I
2.
kind of played Pokemon Black because I played Pokemon MMO.
Yeah,
and they added
true.
Pokemon Black, so like I played like the emulated version.
Yeah.
It was like cookie cutter sort of though. They
I would
take
recommend
features
it.
out.
I would recommend Black 2 because the story's way better.
Yeah.
Not that the story really matters, but I
wanna get X
didn't
and
play
Y.
from like Silver up until like X.
Yeah.
And I bought a 3DS just for Pokemon X, and it was all I played. BFAM and I would we would have guys' night, and then BFAM and I would just bring our DSs over and just zoop, sit in the living room and literally just play. Like, you could do tournaments against people,
Yeah.
2-on-2
And
tournaments.
you didn't need the link cable anymore.
No, that was the...
I remember losing so many.
Dude, it was so fun. Brian probably definitely remembers better than me, but I remember we had a team, and it was like, I had a Blaziken and a Goodra, and then he had whatever his stab Pokemon was,
Jinx.
and his Goodra. And Goodra is just dog shit. It's like the highest special defense and highest defense.
You just
in
gotta
the
have
game.
Blaziken, dude.
And like they
Yeah,
would be like,
Blaziken's
"Oh yeah, we
over.
just took out like your best guy. What are you gonna do now?" And then just 2 Goodras come out, and the other guy's like, "Well, you can't do anything." Like his
White flag.
his paralyzes, and then mine is just like, "All right, I'm just gonna smack you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hit you with Swift for 8 turns."
You just keep hitting run, and it
Yeah.
keeps saying can't escape.
Yeah. But yeah, we would literally sit there for like 2 hours every weekend and just play Pokemon X multiplayer. But then I played Black 2. I got an emulator on my laptop. Like,
That come out after Y and X and Y.
came out right before, or maybe. I have no idea.
I want to play
The whole
I want
timeline
to play
is lost
Y.
to me, dude. But it was cool because it was a 3DS, or no, it was a DS emulator. So your mouse was the bottom screen, the touch screen, and then your keys controlled the top. So it really wasn't that hard to navigate at all. But I would have the guide, and then I would have the emulator in the middle, and then I would have like the fucking like a chart basically to like fill out the team that I waned. It
have,
was
like, a
so I was
Excel
cheating
spreadsheet
I
of
was
all your
cheating
teams.
so hard at Pokemon Black too. It's the way to do it. I still cannot stop playing the Golf Club 2019 featuring PGA Tour though.
I can't get into golf games.
Dude, I am
same.
killing it so hard. It's fucked up.
The only golf games I get into are like mobile games where like on my phone where I'm just flicking and like firing at like high speed.
It's just so relaxing to just I get home from work, take a shower,
it's too slow paced.
and I sit there, I play a round of golf, and then I take care of all my chores, and then I play Mordhau with Wes, and then I go to bed.
Yeah.
That's been my routine.
If it's I don't know how you do that, dude. If it's too slow paced for someone who plays MLB games, like it's real fucking slow paced.
I don't know, man. I do a round of golf in like 20 minutes, and then I'm done for the day.
I just don't like. I don't know. I haven't played enough golf to like think about what club I should be using in what situations and all that shit. You know.
I got like autistic into golf after Tiger Woods won the Masters. Like I started watching golf documentaries, and I watch Happy Gilmore like twice a day.
Yeah, that's where you get most of your golf knowledge.
Basically, every time I drive in Golf Club 2019, I'm just like, ooh. And I've been playing the Phantom Pain.
Can you drive a cart?
Hold up.
What's up?
That's my business.
The Phantom Pain?
Oh, my
I still haven't
goodness.
played it. I've had it, but I've never even opened it.
I never even got past like mission 5.
Okay.
And I got it when it came out on PC. I pirated it.
Maybe
Wes
I'll
is
open it
just
tonight,
like, dude,
'cause-
it's amazing. Like the story sucks, but the gameplay is so
Absolutely
good.
true.
And
Absolutely
maybe
true.
I think we talked about this when you were cutting my hair the other day.
Maybe. Yeah.
And I was like, nah, I can't get into it. And then like 6 months later, he's still playing the Phantom Pain. And he's like, you should try it again. So I tried it again, hated it. And then finally, like 4 years after it comes out, I look at my Xbox screen and I was super fucking bored. And I'm like, I have the Phantom Pain and I have Ground Zeroes.
Nice.
So I played through Ground Zeroes.
Awesome.
And then I imported my data to the Phantom Pain.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy all the cosmetics and shit. Because if I buy all the cosmetics and all the DLC, I'll have to play the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Fair enough.
You know, so I dropped like $20 on all the cosmetics and shit in the game. Haven't been able to stop playing. I love
Awesome,
it. I
dude.
have like
Great to
almost
hear
20. I'm not far in it. I mostly am just fucking around. But I'm like 25 hours in.
The only vision of that game I ever have is
The donkey
Wes
videos.
running around on like hills with like a box, like sliding down hills with it.
Yeah.
That's the only
He
thing.
would play it like
That's
that.
what he.
Like that's my only impression of the game.
You can attack any situation at any angle you want. Wes would totally slide in
Use
on
the
a box.
Yeah.
And like an auto shotgun.
Yeah.
And you know what he would do mostly though is he would turn the iPod on too, and he would constantly be playing Kids in America while he was killing people. So like there was no opportunity for him to be stealthy at all, but he would like sneak up, and Kids in America would be playing through a cardboard box in the middle of a
There's
base.
an iPod in the game.
Yeah,
It's
like a cassette player.
It's an old
right?
Sony cassette player.
Yeah, and
Only
like
80s music.
yeah, it's
Do you have
so
to
good.
Do you have to rewind the tape?
No,
No, you can
not to do
loop it.
that.
You can loop it. It's futuristic kinda. It's pseudo futuristic. It's got repeat on it.
You have to collect the music too. Like
That's
if
the
you
best
want
part.
Take on Me, you got to go to the right spot and steal it from the bad
Yeah,
guy.
you can hear it from a radio, and
Yep.
then you just literally steal a cassette tape out of the enemy's radio. And if any of them are near it, like the exclamation point pops up, and they're like, "Huh, where's my music?" And then you just slice their throat open. Kill them
sounds
however you want,
Great game.
dude. It's so crazy.
Yeah,
And
it sounds like there's like a lot of freedom.
it's
far as
The
like-
most freedom.
It's
Absolutely.
insane. There really is. Like,
However you want to take on a mission, you can. If you want to sneak in, go for it. If you want to run in with guns or an RPG, go for it. If you want to fly in on a helicopter and circle around with a Gatling gun first, do it. Dude, it's great. Drop a tank. Go in with a tank. Whatever
Yeah.
you want to do, dude. It's awesome.
you have a wolf. You can get
have a wolf.
Oh, you can get a wolf that has a Kevlar vest on, and he has knives in his vest, and you could be like, "Get him!" And the wolf pulls the knife out of his vest, jumps up on the guy, and then stabs the knife into the guy's temple, and then runs away. And then you pet him. You can pet the dog, dude.
I'm sold.
There was a mission. It's in the beginning, but you have to get the honeybee, like the fucking
Yeah,
stinger
the
missile
RPG.
or the javelin or whatever.
Yeah.
I kept dying over and over and over. So
That's
I'm like,
a tough one.
It sucked, especially because you're in the beginning, and you have to
You
have to
put it on beginner
capture.
mode, dude.
There's no difficulty setting.
Oh, really?
There's chicken hat mode,
Which sucks.
which sucks, but you'll get it someday.
Alright, yeah,
you literally wear a chicken hat, but then it makes it so what enemies don't see you.
Yeah, you can walk right up to him.
Yeah, it's cheating.
That's OP, dude.
But what I did was I stole like a Humvee and I parked it like right outside the base.
Okay.
Put a C4 on it. And I put C4 on like barrels and the guard tower and shit. And then I spent 15 minutes on foot walking all the way through the mountains to get to the back of the base. And then I blew up all the C4 and every single soldier ran out of the base and were like, what's going on? And then
perfect.
I slid down the hill, picked up the guy, like the prisoner, picked up the RPG prototype.
Nice.
Dipped right out.
Once you get out, there's a cutscene anyway.
Oh, yeah, you get picked up by the Metal Gear thing.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Sahelanthropus.
Yeah, it's fucking sweet.
It's a cool game.
And then you fight
full weapon customization,
dude. It's
down
it's
to
crazy.
the screws, essentially.
Yeah.
Not really, but pretty much.
I know that sucks. I wanted to customize the screws.
And you can also attach weather balloons to people and send them to your base, which is the best part.
I've seen that. Yeah,
it's fucking hilarious.
Of course, because
the
only person I've seen play is Wes. So like, I've seen the most ridiculous shit in the game. Nothing serious about it.
No.
You can kick a goat in the mouth and then put a weather balloon on it, and then send it to.
I'm kind of like
zoo, I guess.
I'm kind of glad the story isn't great because then I can just play
I don't even know what's going on.
Like,
you have to listen to the audio logs, but
but even still, it doesn't fit. Like, are you guys hardcore Metal Gear Solid fans?
I am. Yeah,
I only played the first one. I played Metal Gear Solid.
I've played all of them.
So Metal Gear is well renowned for its story. It's so in depth. It's like convoluted, but it still fits together. There's double agents, triple agents. Hell,
so, like,
some guy doesn't even know who he really works for anymore. It's so convoluted.
Well, if you're a fan, then obviously you want the story.
Yes. Every installment of the game has been mind-blowing in terms of what they add to the story, and it all fits.
Yeah.
Very, very unlike Kingdom Hearts. So, the game and
puts
the whole
that jab in. Dude.
Yeah, just so everybody's clear. It sucks. But yeah. The whole story ends at Metal Gear Solid 4. Fantastic finale. You couldn't ask for any more fan service. And then I think the rumor is he was developing a new game, but Konami was like, Metal Gear Solid. It's a moneymaker. You're making this a Metal Gear Solid game. So he's like, shit, how am I going to fit this in? So he pretty much does his best to like work in this giant angle that no one ever knew about for the whole series, and it doesn't fit.
The thing that kills me the most, and this is coming. I'm not gonna pull my horn about how much I love Metal Gear Solid, but
you will pull your horn.
I'm about to pull my horn about it because I fucking bleed that series.
Yeah,
like
awesome.
I had Metal Gear Solid 1. I had the Twin Snakes, which is fucking great.
So good.
Wicked cool, which is a remake of one on the GameCube, but they made it like Matrix style. They made it like kind of campy, but just still kind of serious. Mm-hmm. But Metal Gear Solid 4, I had the game guide and the game, but then you could also download the database, the Metal Gear database.
That was amazing.
And it was literally encyclopedias on everything, every character,
whatever you want to
know. But
know.
if you read every single article in Metal Gear's in the database, in Metal Gear Solid 4, you would get an item, and it was like the solar gun or some shit.
Yeah, some cool shit.
Some wicked cool weapon. So a normal person would just click every article and just, I read it. Mm-hmm. No, I read everything because I wasn't allowed to play video games sometimes, but I would be like, Dad, I'm just going to read the database. And he would just sit there and like watch TV or like whatever, be on his laptop, and I would just read about Metal Gear.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
The story for 5 doesn't even make sense. Like,
no.
Well, you got to read the
Peace
database.
Walker was a stretch. Like,
you got to read the database to figure
Peace
it out.
Walker was a super huge stretch.
It was a stretch, but it fit.
It fit.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's funny because like Destiny has a similar thing where like you can't
kind of like that.
You can't like really get a lot of the lore from the game itself. Like you have to read like the descriptions of the weapons and like
I like
logs
shit
and
like
stuff
that.
like
That's old school Dark Souls.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like you kind of choose how much you learn about the world.
Yeah, it was just great.
You know what's awesome about Metal Gear 2 is I learned so much about real world history through Metal Gear. Like Yuri Gagarin, wouldn't have known really about who he was. Like a lot about the Cold War. So much cool shit.
So much about the Cold War.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it's not an alternate reality then.
No,
it is kind of.
Yeah.
They change some things, but it's like they kind of let you know what they change and what was actually real.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Like basically they'll tell you, here's what really happened, but behind the scenes, this is what happens.
Yeah.
And that's the fake shit. You know, it's so cool.
And
so cool.
the way it works too is like if you were a normal person in the Metal Gear universe, you would have no idea any of the shit's going on because it's like underground societies are waging war on each other. Where like the American military is at war with the Middle East, but it's also actually like these fucking soldiers that are being mind controlled by like they call them
computer system.
The Patriot system.
It's crazy.
And people are like, oh yeah, they're just soldiers, but it's like, no, when you become a soldier, they inject you with these, little nanomachines.
Yep. All your guns are ID'd to only you.
It's fucking insane, dude.
There's all these private militaries everyone's buying.
That, know what I love so much about Metal Gear Solid 4? When you first start the game and you have the TV station.
Yeah.
And it's like the first time you get to see how fucked up the reality is. You know how like you have pharmaceutical companies making advertisements for pills and prescriptions?
Yeah. I just watched that documentary, What the Health, last night.
Oh, yeah.
That was fucking insane. It makes you not want to eat any food ever again. It literally
Is it on
does.
Netflix?
Yeah.
I gotta check that out.
I'll watch it tonight on my wall-mounted TV.
They're like, oh, everything's bad for you. That's basically what they said.
Did you watch Rats yet?
No. Is that on Netflix?
Yeah,
I'll
it should
watch
be.
that too.
But when you start off Metal Gear Solid 4, it's a TV screen, and your controller is a TV remote. And instead of advertising drugs, it's like advertising militaries, like private soldiers that you can just buy that are all being mind controlled. And they don't know it. They don't know they're being mind controlled, which is like it's just a crazy fucking... And it's so funny because in the beginning, like with Metal Gear Solid 1, it's just like, oh, this is just a cool game where you're like a spy.
Yeah.
And then
stop these nuclear terrorists.
Yeah, it's so simple.
See,
and then it's just like, oh.
It gets deep.
It gets so weird. It gets so weird. And then Metal Gear Solid 2 is even weirder. And like you don't even know if that game happened or not. Like,
exactly. Dude, that's a podcast for itself, is that game.
And then Metal Gear Solid 3 is the prequel to all of them. And then 4 is, like Joe said, you could not... It ended better than Breaking Bad.
Are they primarily meant to be stealth-based?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of them are?
Yeah.
You'll find yourself in sticky situations, but yeah, it's a stealth game.
Yeah. That's how I always looked at that series.
Number 4...
But I never really played many series that were stealth-based. I mean, Splinter Cell, I guess, was stealth-based.
Yeah, sure was.
Hitman is wicked good, too.
But I never got into stealth as a series, I guess. Yeah, I'm sure I would like them. Dishonored, too, I probably would like.
Is so good. That's probably my favorite game. My favorite stealth game. It's Dishonored 1.
I feel like I liked stealth games, and I didn't play a lot of them. That's all. I don't know.
Yeah, the problem a lot of people I know that play games that don't like stealth games have with stealth games is that you cannot get the best experience unless you're stealthy.
Yeah.
And sometimes the systems are so bad.
Right. Yeah, and then you get frustrated too if you keep getting caught in the same fucking spot. And, in Metal Gear Solid, I was just getting pissed because I couldn't get past a certain spot. Yeah. Because I'd get seen by a different guy every fucking way I went.
Yeah. The Splinter Cell games changed everything, I feel like, with the... Well, Thief did it too, right? With the light.
Yeah.
Light.
That was
the
cool,
light and the sound meter.
How
and,
dark. Where you're...
That was crazy. And it made it more refined, so we're you couldn't get that mad about getting spotted because you were like, I knew that I wasn't safe.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, even Skyrim has stuff like that too, don't they?
The
little,
Bethesda games have the stealth meter, the little eyeball thing. And it's a little basic, but it's better than some stealth games. It really can be sometimes. Right. Game that had awful stealth mechanics, which it shouldn't have them to begin with, in my opinion, is Pokemon. Pillars of Eternity. I don't know if you guys have played that.
I actually heard it was really good.
It's wicked amazing, but you could
Pokemon had stealth too, though, because you could sneak behind trainers, so you didn't
just don't get in their line of sight.
Wicked true, very black and white. Yeah, no, Pillars of Eternity is an amazing game. It's the closest you can get to playing Dungeons and Dragons in a video game, besides Baldur's Gate. But
even Divinity too?
Yeah, I would say so.
Oh, okay,
Divinity
awesome.
is the thing that I like about Divinity, and I also don't like about Divinity is the combat system. It's super dynamic.
It is,
but it's like the XCOM grid movement, the Fractured But Whole.
Yeah, that's always
Pillars is more active turn-based, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
But the combat isn't as fun as Divinity, but the story is so good.
Yeah,
That's like a whole.
Sometimes I just have
episode.
trouble getting into things that are turn-based. I don't know. It takes a lot of time.
It does.
The combat
but it's
always takes a
rewarding,
lot.
especially when you're fighting like.
Sometimes
mobs
it just
shit.
feels like you're doing the same shit over and over, though.
Yeah.
Kind of. I guess it depends on what game you play.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Like
even
old school Final Fantasies, you had to be pretty
Yeah.
tactical with your turns and have a lot of foreshadowing or
Yeah.
foresight, I should say.
See,
Yeah.
that's what I was. Because it's like I've only played 7 and 8, really. Like,
Okay.
at least like enough to say I've played them. Because I had like Final Fantasy 3 or whatever for like the Nintendo or Super Nintendo or
That would
whatever
have
it
been
was.
6, right?
I have
Yeah,
no
it was-
idea. I know it gets real messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
does.
think 3 is 6 actually in
Yeah.
America.
What
Is that Cecil?
No, Cecil is 4,
Oh.
right?
I don't remember.
And Kane. Yeah, Cecil and Kane. That's 4.
I don't even know how I got that game because I was young as shit when I
By
had that.
a ROM or something.
Yeah, I don't even know. Because at that time, I probably wouldn't have bought it. It wouldn't have looked appealing to me. For me, it would have been like, I'm buying this game because it's a wrestling game. Like that. That
True.
was my.
What about a turn-based wrestling game?
Well, yeah, they have those. I'm pretty sure. They've got to have them,
I
right?
have to.
I know they have them on phones. There's a lot of wrestling games on phones.
So, Death Stranding. Hype or no hype?
I am not actually looking into it at all until it comes out.
I'm
Not
like,
bad. I should actually do that. I look too much into it.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit interested. It just looks really fucking weird. It looked like a
It's
walking
Kojima.
simulator,
I
basically.
had Wes describe the trailer to me. That's all I needed. I know there's a baby. And
There's
I
a
know
baby, yeah.
I saw the picture of all the characters. There's a guy that's called Die Hard Man.
Die Hard Man. Classic Kojima move, dude. Love it.
You pretty much know the trailer then, because that's all it was. And then he walks around a lot.
Walks around a lot. Yeah.
I want to play the fuck out of it. I also
Oh,
want to
yeah.
play. I want to play that fucking horror game we keep talking about.
Captain Crunchling Adventure.
No, Visage. I want to play Visage.
Yeah,
What
I
is
do.
that? I haven't heard of that.
It's in
like a
early
PT.
access
It's
still,
like
I
a.
think.
It's like a. It's not PT, but it was based on it. Like you're just this
okay.
guy. You're this guy locked in a house, and you have to solve all these like obscure, fucked up, weird puzzles.
Yeah. Layers of Fear 2 is coming out soon.
That's
too.
gonna be cool. I fucking love. Even though PT,
Psychological horror.
Yeah, PT didn't come out, but the fact, like, that's why Konami can actually eat an entire anus. Like, because that game came out and it was just a demo, and it was so good that it literally created its entire own genre.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, there's a game on Steam that you guys should both check out, and it's called September 1998.
Okay.
It's
Sounds like a time.
5 minutes long. It's a free game. It's 5 minutes long. Really, really fucking petrifying 5 minutes.
Really?
I'm not going to tell you anything else other than that. It's free. It's 5 minutes.
I gotta make
Check
a note
it
of
out.
What's the date?
September 1998. The whole game is through a camcorder. If you've ever seen the videos on YouTube where the guy takes modern video games and makes them look like PS1 era graphics, he's called 98 D-Make.
Okay.
He made the game, and he's obsessed with the 90s, and he makes all these free, like, you know, playable
he's big
playable
on, like-
teaser type games.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
He's big on like rocket power. And
yeah, basically, I was on 4chan, and it was like, what are the scariest games on PC that you could recommend that aren't cheap, or that are cheap or free, basically, you know, indie horror games. And I was scrolling through, and it said September 1998, and I had like 15 replies, and I'm like, okay. So I looked it up, and I'm like, it's free. All
I'm
right,
sure it's not
played
September
it.
1999?
Is it 1999?
because that's the only one that came up with reasonable results. It says it's a free VHS-styled first-person found footage horror game,
Nice.
which runs exactly for 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's okay. So it's 1999. Okay, so that's the one. I'm
9
talking
out of
about.
10 on Steam, 4.5.
Nice.
It's really good. Like, it's really good.
We'll see about that. I'll be the judge.
Wear headphones on it when you're playing it
No, it's too
in
scary,
the
dude.
dark. Oh yeah, No, it's fucked. Man.
I still haven't finished Alien Isolation, dude.
Ooh, good game.
Play
Bit
that-
long.
Yeah,
It's still a great
it
game.
is.
Didn't we
long.
talk about that with?
I've had it for like 7 years.
Yeah,
I've been like going back to it once in a while.
you beat it, didn't you?
I did.
You did.
Forced myself to because it was a long game.
Yeah.
It gets rough, man.
I got. You know what? That might be a fun thing for me to do with the apartment now. With that 4K TV.
Get scared.
Get scared.
Get scared.
With fucking Alien Isolation. I got super far into it, and I got to the part where you get to the androids that wear the body armor.
Yeah.
And,
the androids are like, they're ridiculous.
It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
I got into the alien like hive or whatever. That's where I
Oh
was.
yeah.
And then I got out of it, and then that's where I left off. I'm not stuck
pretty
where I
close to
am
the
right
end.
now,
You're
I could
just-
pick it up
yeah.
and just go.
Well, you were telling me about it. I kept bringing it up on the podcast about how I got it for like $8 at Infinite Lives. It was like the day one edition or the Nostromo edition, so it came with all the Alien 1
Yes. Wicked.
DLC. Wicked fucking sweet. Showed that to my dad because my dad's a diehard Alien fan, and he thought it was the craziest thing because they have all the original voice actors, and you just play scenes from the movie.
It's so cool, dude.
But I was there when Wes beat it, and I was watching him play through it years ago when it first came out, and that part where you have to sneak past like 2 different aliens
Yeah.
and go like a mile,
Yeah.
and then you get all the way there and it's like, oh no, you have to go back, and then he had to
There's so much of that, dude.
that
There's
sucks.
so much of that.
I thought the backtracking was wicked cool at first because all of a
There
sudden
was a lot of
at one
backtracking.
when you get ejected,
But shit all looks the same
Right?
on the ship. That's the thing.
yeah. There's a part where you get ejected out of the ship, right?
Yeah, I think
And
so.
then you make your
Oh,
way
yeah,
back.
yeah.
It's like
Yep.
chapter 9 or something. And you make your way back, and then you're at the starting area, but then you have the jack for the door and all your tools, and you're like, holy shit, I can go in all these rooms that were
And the
left.
hate
flamethrower.
having-
I'm
And the
pretty sure.
flamethrower, yeah.
I hate having like the fucking jammer and shit because you know it's just gonna fuck you up. Because
Yeah.
you're out in the open, like right.
Oh,
when
when you have to hack into shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that part.
like the directional stick.
Yeah.
I think you have to like get it to a
you have
certain
to
spot
move the
and
left
then-
stick and the right stick and click and all
Yeah.
that. It's even harder on computer. It's
And then there's
fun.
the one where
Yeah.
you got to match the shapes or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you got the alien breathing right down your neck.
And then
The worst
you
is
finally get
sometimes-
it, and then he's right behind you.
Just oh fuck! I'm getting that game fucked me wicked bad. When I was sick, when I had that wicked bad skin thing going on around like Christmas time.
Psoriasis.
No, it was chemical burns, but I was on. They had me on prednisone and antibiotics and strictly fluids for like 3 days. I was out of work. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna play Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, that when you like the backtracking was wicked cool at first, but then when you do it for like 3 straight hours, like okay.
Yeah.
And
I actually finished Outlast 2 finally a couple months ago. I like stopped playing
Oh,
that
yeah.
for wicked long.
Outlast
There was a
is
spot where I
such
had
a
to
fucking
jump off a cliff or some shit, and then I just got lost in like the woods. That's a pretty cool game too. It's just that it's not. I don't think it's as good as the first one. The first one, you're just
That's a
running
classic.
around in an insane
that's a
asylum.
classic. Did you play the first Outlast? No. Oh,
It's cool. You
really
don't
good.
have any weapons. You just have a camera, and you're basically just it's a stealth horror game.
yeah.
basically.
You're in an insane asylum, and there's like a demon or some shit. Like they explain what it is, but it's basically like the smoke monster from Lost is there. Like it's a fucking poltergeist basically that is fucking everything up. And
They
that
do
game's really
explain it.
fucking
It's like
brutal.
I don't know. There's a bunch of researchers.
It's like an
that
astral projection
yeah.
gone wrong, basically, or something like that.
It's cool though.
Like you find out what it is in like the first
You're
hour,
like a journalist, and you go in to like investigate what's going on.
and then you get locked in.
Okay.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's pretty. Sketchy.
That's a game when I lived on Van Buren Street. That's a game where like Swamp and people would come over and we just get wicked fucking baked
There's
and
no-
try to play it.
Yeah, and there's no like linear. Like it's tough to find where to go a lot of the time because
Yeah.
it's really dark all the time.
You have to
and you
find
have a night
batteries.
vision. You have to have batteries for your night vision. So, and then if you run out of batteries, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah. I remember still when Amnesia came out. I remember getting Amnesia on Steam. Like Amnesia, The Dark Descent, and Killing Floor were the reasons I started playing on PC.
Yeah, I
And
never played
Amnesia
Killing Floor.
was fucking insane at the time. Like Oh, it's a puzzle game, but you're also being stalked by these demon monster things, these ghouls, I guess.
You can't see any of them, though.
No, that's one thing I hated, was that if you looked at them, you died, basically. Like, did you ever play Amnesia?
Very briefly. I had like the whole collection, and me and my buddy wanted to play. We played like 10 minutes. We're like, nothing's happening. So
that's
it
Amnesia.
does take a little while.
It's literally like an hour before you... Like, there's parts where you'll see the monsters and stuff, but you don't know it when you start off. But they won't stalk you. They don't start following you around until it gets to a certain point.
Like everything looks the same, and you get lost. You have to find certain
the graphics
items.
really are not good.
Yeah.
A really good game made by that same studio, though, is Soma. I don't know if you played
I have Soma on PlayStation 4, and I've never really played with it.
So good. You go in, you got your character, the whole story is like you have like chronic migraines, and you go to this... You've been getting all these different tests and all that, and there's nobody can figure out. You've gotten MRIs and CAT scans, and all of a sudden you get like
you're one messed up dude, is what
you're fucked, dude. You're like Kurt Cobain after the accident. Like, that's how bad your head hurts. And
I don't think his head hurt.
So not at all.
Well, that like nanosecond where it hurt really bad, it's like that all the time. One of your doctors emails you and he goes, "Hey, you know, one of my old colleagues is starting this experimental thing to help people that have the same condition that you have. Go down to his clinic." You go down to the clinic and he puts you in this machine, and you get out of the machine after like 10 minutes in, like, you know, not in game, but you're in the machine. All of a sudden it's like 10 minutes later, hour later, whatever. You get out of the machine, everything's normal. You open the door to walk out, and all of a sudden you're like underwater. And you're like in a rapture type area.
Okay.
And then you turn around and the door is gone. And you're like, so am I hallucinating right now, or is this real? And then all of a sudden you find out, oh shit, this is real.
Yeah, that's why I got it, because like, I
happened?
love BioShock, and I saw like the underwater city type thing.
Dude, it's
and I was
so
like,
fucking
I'm getting
weird.
this. Like,
It's a really, really weird game.
yeah.
And I would recommend, if you do play it without the enemies. It's not fun. Like, because you can't hurt them, and they made a mode to get rid of enemies that hurt you because it got so unfair to a point. There's nothing you could do to distract them or anything. Like, as soon as they see you, they follow you until you get to an unreachable area.
To get rid of the enemies?
Yeah, dude, they're not a great developer. Like, their AI is not very. It's like.
Let's have them do less damage, or like let's see them.
I mean, there's probably like a very easy mode or something. Like, I beat it on easy or whatever it is, the easiest difficulty, and then when they were like, "Oh yeah, we have a mode without enemies," I was like, "Oh, well, I'm playing that right now then, because that'll make it way more fun." Right. And it's still terrifying, you know. Whatever, man. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, good point. No. You got a great point.
So, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
It's like, do we need a Final Fantasy VII Remake, though, you know?
Not anymore.
It's on everything. Everybody's got it on everything. So
it has been released for everything.
Yeah.
Dude, you could probably play it on a fridge at this
I've
point.
seen it on smart fridges.
Dude,
yeah.
yes, you can.
Just the ice machine is A.
I'm pretty sure someone's made it in Minecraft.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed somebody has.
There's a Roblox version of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Oof.
Roblox is great. The hide and seek game in Roblox is the
Prop
best one.
hunt, right?
Yeah, because you like are a fucking cup or something, and you have to hide in like a movie theater.
Love those modes too.
Yeah, they're
So
wicked
good.
fun. Gary's mod has the original prop hunt, but I don't have any of the fucking old source.
There's like a
games.
Roblox game where it's literally Battlefield.
Oh yeah, we tried that one. It's fucking awful.
There's constant texture popping and like you can't see your gun like at all. It's fucking great though. The fact that they have games that have that like capability though is kind of impressive.
Yeah,
and it's a free game. You can just mess around with it. I never got into those though. I felt like the creators like would take too much time. I didn't feel like playing around with Minecraft for fucking 13 hours a day.
Right. Yeah.
People get crazy with those though. You can get it in 4K now, dude. You can get those beautiful pixel boxes in 4K.
Fuck yeah. I saw a demo of Minecraft featuring ray tracing technology. I was like, why?
Yeah, you don't need that at all.
You don't.
Dude, tech is getting crazy though now.
Tech's getting crazy. By the way, I came up with an answer for your question. I was waiting for the right
I don't
time.
even remember the question anymore.
What's
me-
a technological advancement that fucking blew your mind?
I'm sure there's a couple, but the one that kept coming back to me is 3D printing.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is crazy.
all right.
How much of a joke was that when we were kids, or even teenagers?
Yeah,
I mean, shit, just print one. You know, you can actually fucking print one. What do you want? Done. It's crazy. I mean, within reason, people are printing guns. People are printing like vehicle chassis, and it's nuts.
Organs.
Man. Organs. Huge.
yeah, that's
It's
insane.
huge. Man.
Dude, eventually I'll be able to 3D print myself a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I
As
just-
soon as they
I
have
just-
4D printing,
I
that's
cannot
awesome.
give her a frontal lobe though, because then she'll leave me.
Yeah.
Like as
Well, you
long
can
as
leave
she's a
that out, that's
vegetable,
fine.
she'll be mine. But as soon as she can start to think clearly, she'll just
Yeah.
walk out of my house. She's like, "Why is there styrofoam everywhere? I'm gone." 3D printing's a good one,
Yeah.
especially because like you can get 3D printers for not that expensive right now. Like I think I told the story around Christmas time. One of my little cousins wanted a
Black Friday, dude. Just get on Black Friday.
Yeah, well, that's what they
They got
did.
all
They got
kinds
a,
of 'em.
They got a little tiny 3D printer. It's like, this big. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like the size of that cotton candy thing.
Yeah.
And it only makes tiny little figurines.
Okay.
But
Well,
I
if you're
guess-
into D&D, there you
Yeah,
go.
he
that would be awesome for D&D.
yeah, and it's slow enough to where you can actually be entertained by it working.
Nice.
And it was so cool. And he had an app on his phone. You connect it to your phone and you can like print, like send it the shit to print.
Dollar
So he
bills.
like made little Star Wars characters with
Nice,
it. Like,
Why don't people just
the
print
middle
money
of
with
fucking
it?
the middle of Christmas, and he's just like, I'm gonna make Star Wars toys with my toy that I got for Christmas.
They must
Yeah,
have
3D
a,
printing is crazy. Oh my
Especially
god.
for the medical field too, like you were saying, organs, appendages, like shit, I lost my leg. I could get a prosthetic leg made of
just
whatever.
print one out.
Made of wood. I could print one, a jacked leg, make me look awesome.
yeah, one jacked leg. Skip's leg day only on his left leg. That's so fucking weird, man. I don't even know. Like, the VR shit is honestly getting pretty crazy too. It's like turning into. Honestly, there's like this weird crossroads where it's going to be VR or AR. Like, I don't know which one's going to go first. Like, which one's going to take off first.
AR is like the HoloLens, right? Like augmented
Yes.
reality.
Yeah, like you
Which
can
is
still
so
see
intriguing.
reality.
That's the one that I want.
I also am very intrigued by that.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Think about it. You wouldn't have to buy another TV in your house. You
Yeah.
put it on and just drag and drop yourself a TV, put it anywhere you want in your room. You know, laying in bed, I'm just gonna put one right above me.
Yeah. Even like the AR stuff on phones is crazy. Like
yeah.
you can play like Jenga AR and shit. Like just put a Jenga tower on your table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And walk around it and push pieces out and shit.
Walk around it or spin it if you want to.
Yeah.
If you're lazy
And then
as
knock it
fuck.
over.
I would like to get like AR to fuck with people at my house. Like I'd have like a xenomorph. Like the rule would be like, if you want to hang out in my apartment, you got to put on these AR goggles, which would immediately weed out like 80% of my friends because they'd be like, "You're gonna fuck with me." And now it's gonna weed out like 100% of them because I'm saying this
You're
on
saying
the show.
you're gonna fuck with them.
But I would be like, put on these goggles if you want to hang out, and then they'd come over and I'd like put a xenomorph in the closet or something.
Yeah.
Or like,
Or you like look butt naked, but you look jacked. You have like a
Your
20
dick's out.
pack.
yeah, something like that, man. I don't know, dude. It'd just be crazy. It's just because the augmented reality.
Well, people
when-
got scared of the Google Lens or Google Glass or whatever.
got scared of it?
basically.
Why? What did it
they
do?
basically shut it down because like everybody didn't want it because everybody was going to be wearing glasses with cameras on them and fucking.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
It's no one wants that shit, but it's just
That's
going to
kind of
happen.
true, but that
Especially
is
if
going
it's-
to be inevitable.
Yeah. Like at a certain point, it's just going to be you're going to get new eyes.
Yeah.
I need new eyes, dude.
Yeah.
My eyes are dog shit. I
always have
cannot
20/20
see
vision.
in any department store in America. Like the lights are so bright, like
Yeah.
It's fucked.
Yeah, it's
Walmart's
that
a
fluorescent
fucking-
lighting, dude.
Walmart's so bad to me, dude. They don't want me to spend my money there.
No, they don't.
Oh man.
Well,
they
just want you to go in and get your shit and then pay for your own shit and then leave. Like,
Yeah.
there's no one. They don't need staff anymore at those stores. It's fucking hilarious.
I saw a meth head at Walmart yesterday.
Well,
I'm
know.
shocked.
It's like,
Dude, it was insane. I was there with Dan. I had to buy vitamins, and we also had to pee. So we're driving around the east side. And he was like, dude, I really have to piss. I'm like, me too. I go, I gotta buy vitamins. Let's go to Walmart. We can piss, and then I can buy my vitamins, and I'll go home, and then we'll go back to my place. We were picking up Sean actually, and so we're waiting in line.
Couldn't use the van.
No, we were waiting in line, and there's this extremely pregnant, like, trashy woman in front of me, which was not the meth head. But her cart was full of, like, diapers, baby formula, Pedialyte, and then just a 30 rack of Bush, like, in with all that. And I was like, that's amazing. That's my woman. I hope she's not drinking those, but I know she's going to.
The orange cans or the
regular Bush?
Oh.
I don't know.
You gotta have the orange cans.
You have to. But she's shaking the whole time. So she might have been a meth head, but the other one was she took the cake, dude. She took the fucking baked Alaska out of all of our tables. Like, it was crazy. So she scans her card. The total was $133.85, and I only know this because it popped up over and over and over. We're literally waiting in line for over 10 minutes. She scanned every single card she had on her, and then sat there and called somebody, and then all of a sudden you see a meth head walking up, and she's like dancing the whole way. Like, she could not stop just moving. And I feel bad because she might have had a disease, and I think the disease was a meth addiction. And
that is a disease, basically.
She's got shorts on, and she's bulging out of them like a toothpaste bottle that was cut in half. Like, I don't know.
Hot.
My analogies are off right now because I'm trying to. I really wish I could get up and do the moves that she was doing, but I can't. But she was wearing a see-through. It almost looked like one of those things you put over a table, not a tablecloth, but basically a tablecloth. She was basically wearing a shirt like that with just a bra on, but it was all see-through.
Okay.
And the definition,
like one of grandma's like doily placemats.
Doily, yeah,
okay.
doily, yeah.
Doily.
And she's every time she moves, like a piece of her flesh like pokes out through the holes of this doily blouse she was wearing because she's just moving with such ferocity. And she pulls out her wallet and she goes, "I got enough cash to pay for this stuff." She goes, "What is it? $130? I don't think I can afford that." Opens her wallet and she's literally jerking like the whole time. I'm not even. That's the move. The entire transaction, she's just trying to just keep her body.
Is that a meth thing though?
It's either a meth thing or a crack thing. It's either a meth thing or a crack thing because I've seen it, and
it's not normal. Let's say that.
It's definitely not a good thing, and it's definitely not Tourette's because
no.
I mean, it could have been. I don't fucking know.
Well, yeah,
whatever.
Tourette's does come in different forms.
Yeah.
Like, Tourette's isn't, like, just yelling.
Tourette's is twitching, but it's not like... I don't think it's that extreme. It might be. Maybe she just has a really bad case of it, but... Right now I'm going with meth head because I was at Walmart.
She seems like a nice lady, though, overall.
She's pretty classy. I mean, if it was like 30 years and 8 ounces of meth ago, like, I would have probably hit on her, but...
She was willing to foot this bill, so we'll give her that.
Well, they were together, so... that.
She felt
But
obligated.
yeah, true, very true. Yeah. She's very noble. But she's like... What is that? $133? I don't think I can afford that. She pulls out her wallet, and I didn't see the bills exactly, but I did see the cashier, which is this girl I used to work with. Her name's Bree. She takes the money, and she counts it, and then just hands the meth head back like 8 bills, and she goes, "That's all I needed." So I don't know how much money the meth head handed her, but she gave her too much money. And rings her up, gives her all of her change back, and they leave. But it was so bad because Dan is in line with me, and he turns around and like is trying not to laugh at them. But I saw what he's doing, and he's like biting his hand like kids in the back of like church.
Right.
And I see him doing that, and I just start dying laughing in front of these two women. And then all of a sudden, it's just like.
But they didn't know. They didn't know what you were laughing at.
I don't know, man. There was just such a fuss.
That's when you like pull out your phone. You're like,
yeah.
Just to point
but
it
it's just the camera. Like, Oh my god, I don't know, dude. It was just. I wish I could have told that story better.
Should have got the
People
video,
of
dude.
Walmart, man.
People of
Should've
Walmart,
Snapchatted
like
it.
every time I go to Walmart, it's always a fucking hassle.
Yeah,
And like,
I hate it, man.
Yeah, it sucks because it's Walmart and everything else is gone because of Walmart.
Yep.
So like you're out of options.
Pretty sure Taste the World was gone because Walmart got those coffee machines in the entranceway.
They have coffee machines in the entranceway.
Yeah.
Why would you go way out
coffee
to
vending
Walmart?
machines,
Yeah.
Walmart seems out of the way for coffee. That seems stupid. Like unless you're at Walmart already.
I was being
That's-
facetious, but they have actual coffee vending machines. It's the weirdest
I
thing.
haven't seen anyone use it.
I
ever, but
don't.
It's there.
Well, I was
That's
going
weird.
to try, but I remember we had one of those at Novellus, and I got a cappuccino once, and it was disgusting. So it dispenses a cup for you.
Right.
When you put the money in, like a cup comes out of like the side, and you grab it. And I wanted a cappuccino, and the machine is like squirting coffee in, and then the cappuccino starts pouring out. But I saw like a clump in with the cappuccino. I'm like, what the fuck? And after it was done pouring, I look in it, and it was just like bugs floating at the top of it. Dude, I'm not kidding.
Well, at least they were dead. You know?
It was so disgusting. It was just full of bugs. And I guarantee you that one at the Walmart is full of bugs.
oh yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Those
yeah,
coffee
those
machines
like
are so
those,
disgusting.
yeah, those things never get maintained, right? Fountain, like when you get fountain drinks, those are never maintained either. So there's probably so much mold in like the top of those things, and the water's just filtering down through the mold. So you're just drinking a bunch of mold plus soda,
I had
soda
to
juice.
clean the soda machine at work today, and it's like a big Folgers, not soda, big coffee machine. It's a Folgers coffee dispenser.
Yeah, I was gonna say Folgers doesn't make soda.
No, they don't. But
They should though. That's a good idea.
they at the hospital they clean them once a week, and it was only a week of them not being cleaned. And you take out the nozzle where the coffee comes out of, and it smells so rancid, and it's just built up like coffee concentrate.
Right.
Like just, oh dude, it just looks like what is that shit like hard water on from like a or like soap scum, you know? Oh my god, I don't even like. I hate going
Scum.
and getting a fountain drink because like they don't get cleaned.
No, they don't.
Is that in What the Health, the fountain drink thing?
No, it wasn't. But they were mostly talking about like the processed meat industry and like
I don't even want to know, man.
it's so fucking bad. Like not even shit that like even shit that's around the factories gets fucked up just from the waste that they're putting out and shit like that.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, it's really bad. You don't like literally I was hungry before I stared watching it and then
You're like, I'm never eating again.
I was like I'm going to eat some lettuce because that's the only thing that apparently is any good for you.
I remember we had to watch a documentary. It might have been Food Inc. They were talking about how the laws in America are so
I've
fucked
seen
up
that.
compared to other countries as far as food processing goes. Like there's an amount of bugs and amount of like mice and rodents that are allowed to be in a certain like vat of processed food because like up until a certain point it doesn't actually affect the food, but it's still in there.
Yeah. Well, it's like, think about it. Every animal that's in that fucking thing is going to be sick because they're all like crammed together. Those diseases are going to get on everything. So all that meat's going to be fucking poisoned.
No, I was going to
No
say
matter
like
what.
in a factory, like if a rat falls into like a processor,
Yeah. You can only have so many rats in the process.
if you're at like a Tyson chicken factory
Yeah.
and you're working there and a rat falls in, you don't have to take it out because it's
You put it on the tally. Oh, it's only 3 today.
that's literally like how it works.
Seriously.
There was a fucked up
They were
thing-
talking about like the American Heart Association and shit and how they get money from all these brands that like make shit that's causing cancer and shit and like
Great.
heart disease.
Yeah, lovely.
It's ridiculous. Like all of those like even Susan G. Komen and shit.
Oh, it's the Komen Foundation.
They're all fucked. They're all fucked.
They Wyclef Jean everybody, dude.
They did. Yeah.
They did.
Wyclef knows the move though, you know. He had it down. He fucked up though.
We had to watch a video about a guy. It was like a tuna canning plant in like the 50s where two guys fell into a tuna processor and people just thought they left the factory that day. and come to find out that these two guys were processed
They
and
were
turned
tuna.
into tuna.
Yeah.
Like,
That's cool though.
I don't eat tuna and I never will, but that's not why. It just smells disgusting. But I would probably eat like a tuna fillet. Like if I bought a fillet of tuna, I'm never gonna eat it.
I've
out
never
of the
done
can.
that.
Yeah, they have it at Price Chopper. It looks really good. Like it. But I love fish.
Well,
So.
fish always looks pretty much the same.
To me,
Yeah.
Really?
I'm not much of a fish
Oh, I
connoisseur.
fucking love fish, dude. I love it. Tilapia is actually bad though. Don't eat it. If you ever get fish, don't ever eat tilapia.
Why is that?
I've never had it. I've never had it.
Tilapia is never really found in the wild, so most of it is found in like fish farms, basically.
Okay.
So it's never like if you see, most fish, especially if you get it locally in Oswego, caught in the lake or the river or like around this area. Anything tilapia is they're just grown and bred and pumped with hormones and shit. And they're not even, I'm pretty sure, so I could be wrong, but tilapia isn't even like a normal fish. It's like,
It's pretty gross
it's like a
looking anyway.
Honeycrisp apple, but it's a fish. It's like genetically
so it was
changed.
engineered somehow.
Yeah. I mean,
We used to serve it at Ponderosa on like Fridays, like as an
Exactly.
entree. And if you serve it at Ponderosa, I don't know.
well, like
They
but that's
served
the thing is-
they
that's the
served
thing is-
lobster though. At
Yeah,
certain
that's
points.
true. The thing is, though, is tilapia actually it tastes good, but it's the worst thing for you as far as fish goes. But I love seafood, like salmon, smoked salmon. I brought shrimp to the Berlins once. We had a shrimp and white wine night. We all blacked out. That was a great time.
Yeah, that's cool. We should do a green eggs and
Ooh.
ham thing, dude.
Fish and booze sounds awful.
What's shrimp and
Yeah,
white
it
wine,
does.
dude? It's a Tim and Eric sketch.
I remember we actually
love
had
shrimp, though.
green eggs and ham when I was in elementary school.
Yeah, and I got yelled at because I didn't like eggs.
Well, did you like green eggs?
I like eggs now. I'd eat the eggs now, but I got yelled at because I didn't eat the eggs. I ate the ham. They're like, you got to eat the eggs. No. Eat your fucking eggs.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing they were talking
She
about.
sprayed
is
shaving cream all
like
over
the
me.
dairy industry and shit and how bad that is. It's wicked. All dairy is wicked bad for you. And no one really says that because they like to pay money. There's those got milk posters in every elementary school ever.
I mean, how
I used to
bad do we
actually-
have to pasteurize milk before we can even digest it?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, there's a reason we wean off of breast milk. We're not really supposed to have it.
Milk is delicious, though. You guys
it
milk
is.
guys? I was
Love
gonna
milk.
say.
Yeah,
Love
it's
it.
good. Doesn't build strong bones though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I used to have
doubt
that Tony Hawk poster where he was doing like a stale fish or some shit, and with like
Was it a
little
tilapia
mustache.
shellfish?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't even really stale. It's a
Pasteurizing milk is when they like hit it with lasers and shit or something, right? What the fuck's
No idea the process.
what's pasteurizing? I know it's something to do with like they have to basically hit it with like heat or radiation or eggs or
I think they have to put it. In,
they have to filter it a bunch. It's like a filtering process.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of that going on.
yeah,
Let's see.
that seems like a fucked up process. Whatever it is, I guarantee it is.
I need to get another haircut, by the way.
Oh, well, he's your guy.
Since you're here, are you busy?
It's treated with mild heat,
Mild heat.
usually less than 100 degrees Celsius, which is 212 Fahrenheit, to eliminate pathogens and extend shelf life. So not
212.
as much of a process as I expected, but
Still,
212 Fahrenheit doesn't seem mild to me though.
yeah, no
that's
kidding.
boiling. Yeah, that's boiling. Like
That is lethal heat.
It seems very not mild if I was in that situation.
it is very lethal heat. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, I don't. But like I could probably cut out milk. I could try to cut out eggs. I don't really eat yogurt, but cheese, dude.
Dude, they were talking
Cheese,
about
dude,
how
will get me every time.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
I am a slut for cheese.
yeah,
dude.
and they literally were like, cheese is the worst thing ever. They were like,
I'm not watching this movie.
they were like, yep, cheese actually hits like the same receptors that like certain drugs do.
Oh
and
yeah,
shit.
no, it hits.
Yeah.
They were talking about how like there's a certain type of cheese that they make in like it's a fancy expensive type of cheese, but it attaches to your opioid receptors.
Yeah, and it literally
And it gets you high.
Oh my god!
I remember
keeps
reading
you coming
about
back,
that.
dude. That's why you want pizza, dude.
Dude, I got pizza yesterday, by the way. Pizza Villa, best pizza in the world.
Yeah, they talked about how like they were trying to constantly get places to put more cheese on pizzas, like stuffed crust and shit, and like triple cheese stuffed crust at Pizza Hut. It's fucking insane how much fucking. They were like, "Yep, you got to put a pound of cheese on this pizza, like, because it's horrible for people, and we want people to die." Which is basically what they want, more or less.
Yeah,
it's not even that. It's more that they want you to keep buying their fucking shit. Like,
Yeah,
isn't that why?
absolutely.
Isn't that why they use MSG in Chinese
yeah.
food?
Well,
That's because that's why like all Chinese food kind of tastes the same.
I think that's a preservative, though.
I know it's monosodium glutamate.
I
I'm
know-
almost positive. Is that what it's called?
It's
Cass
like, the side
filled
effect
us in
is
on
that, like,
MSG.
yeah. I think the side effect is just that you get hungry again real quick. It like fills you up real fast, so that if you go to a buffet or something, you don't eat all their food, and you get hungry in 2 hours. So
See, that's the fucked
good
up thing
move.
is that whenever I get Chinese food, I always get 2 meals.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys do that.
No.
But the thing is
I get a big one
I'll
and then
eat-
I eat half of it and then I save it for later. 'cause
Yeah,
I
like
know
I'll,
I'm gonna be
eat, I'll
hungry.
eat half. I'll eat half of the first one, and then like 3 hours later, 3 hours later, I'll eat like the other half of the first one, and then like another 2 hours later, I'm like, I might as well just eat the whole other one that I
Right,
have.
yeah. You might as well. That's true.
I don't know what else I can do, man.
You could not do that. That's the first thing you could do.
I don't know. What's your guys' favorite kind of cheese, though?
Pepper Jack.
I think Gouda cheese is really good.
Pepper Jack's great. Feta is fantastic.
Feta is wicked good.
Yeah.
I like provolone a lot.
Provolone goes on every sandwich I make.
Provolone's cheese, dude. Havarti is another good one.
I don't think I've had that.
Is it a type of cheese or is it a brand?
Yeah, it's a type of cheese.
Oh.
I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a really strong. Well, if you don't like Swiss, you won't like Havarti.
Okay.
It's like a really strong Swiss cheese.
There's so many
I
different
think.
types of cheese. It's so fucking odd.
It
There's
is really weird because isn't it all kind of made the same way?
I mean, it's all cheese, dude. You know,
You know,
cottage cheese.
you can't go wrong with white cheddar either. Like a sharp cheddar,
ricotta.
dude. I am a slut for ricotta cheese. I hate cottage cheese though, which
I
is
hate
weird.
the idea of it, but I will eat it.
What do you mean the idea of it? That it's like clumpy
Yeah. And wet.
and it's in a bucket.
Eat it with a spoon. Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is definitely mold. Like,
I actually, now that I think about it, I think my favorite cheese is blue cheese.
it's not even like it doesn't even seem like it's cheese. Like it's fucking weird.
Crumbly blue. I'll put that on.
Love it, man.
Yeah.
It's gross, but I love it.
Yeah, I pissed everybody. Oh, not everybody. I pissed a lot of people off at the nursing home I used to work at a while ago because I would make salads, and it was like a standard like salad,
That seems like it would irritate people. Yeah.
and I would do it would be chicken and bacon, and then I would do like grapes and like diced apples, bacon. No, I said bacon, but I'd put blue cheese all over it.
It's funny that it's like a salad and then you just load it with shit that's not good for you.
Bacon.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. It's basically the whole point of it was like, I'm not having bread with my sandwich or my wrap or whatever. You know, it was like a Alsatian blue salad. Like, but yeah, and then they thought it was weird because, and I guess it is weird that I would like eat fruit with blue cheese because people eat fruit with cottage cheese, and I think that's disgusting. But
Like cheese from
I've
some
like
cottage?
I've like dipped apples in blue cheese and eaten it like that. But
Yeah, I'd eat that.
dude, yeah, because it's like blue cheese is like a very mild flavor at first, and then it's like really, really strong. I don't know. Like I got a sub from Sub Shop, and I always get the Alsatian blue chicken cutlet, and it's always chunky blue cheese. And
Yeah, they do have good blue cheese.
wicked good.
Now is the sales version different than like if I go there, I always order buffalo cutlet, So
blue.
is it different than the sassy sauce too?
Yeah,
Like, should I
sassy
try
sauce
that?
is like it's like
Sassier,
it's like a sweet and sour.
Yeah.
It's a mustard based pepper sauce.
Oh, okay.
You ever have Sal's sassy sauce? It's kind of like
a long time ago.
Yeah, Sal's Birdland used to be a place in upstate New York. I'm pretty sure.
They were the best wings I ever had.
Yeah, and then they sold the recipe to this place called Telly's.
Okay.
And they're not around anymore. They used to be where like Pies Guys is. I'm pretty sure they used to be like halfway. No, they were like halfway between Hannibal and Oswego. And then Telly's closed down, and now Sub Shop's wings are supposed to be the cabaret wings.
Okay.
But they sub shopped them, so
Yeah,
they're
right,
awful now.
Right.
But yeah, the cabaret wings, like the Sal's Birdland wings, used to be like the size of a beer can. Like they were fucked. They were literally like the size of, like the drumstick would be almost the size of my fist.
Yeah.
And you
They were
would
crunchy and flavorful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Like there's like
They did like a. It was
wings
almost like
seem like such a simple thing to do, but you can fuck them up easily, and you
Yeah.
can make them perfect. Like
they're
it's, they're also like just the garbage meat that people didn't actually want to eat.
Pretty much. Yeah.
It wasn't until Buffalo.
You'd have
Of
to
all-
eat
of
like
all
300
places.
wings to actually be full off of off
yeah.
of chicken wings. You can eat them for days.
Chicken wings are they're really good though. Like, I don't know. My favorite place in town for wings is definitely Garofalo's. They're like a solid, like you always know what you get. You get decent, but not great.
Yeah, that's all you want. It's
Yeah,
decent.
that's all you want.
Consistency is key.
Consistency is key, dude.
Even if
especially
they're
with
horrible,
chicken
as long as they're consistently horrible, then it's fine.
The worst
know what you're
wings.
getting.
The worst wings are Domino's wings.
Domino's is
Not wings.
literally-
You ever made that mistake once?
Oh, yeah.
They're
You get-
basically liquid. Like they're not even a chicken wing.
surprisingly
so soggy.
enough, Pizza Hut has really good wings.
Okay.
But they have like a
They're okay, yeah.
Wing Street is
Yeah.
not Pizza
and
Hut.
they come in that weird black thing that you have to shake.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
They
thing.
put the chicken wings in there, like the breaded chicken wings, and then they just pour the sauce into the thing, and then you shake it. It's fucking.
It's
weird.
pretty cool, and then they add liquid smoke to the sauce, which if you never use liquid smoke when you're cooking meat, you are missing out.
Yeah,
'cause
my dad does it all the time.
You could just smoke the meat,
so
right?
good. Well, you could, but
I don't have 12 hours to cook my food.
yeah, dude.
You got to think ahead. And then by the time it's done, you're like, I don't even feel like having this right now.
Like that's why I need a crock pot.
Yeah.
Dude,
Like-
Instant Pot. You heard of this thing?
Huh?
An Instant Pot?
No.
I've got one, dude. You can make whatever you want in less than an hour. Fantastic. It's incredible. You can do anything you want, and it makes it so fast. I feel like a bum when
It's
I
like
have
a-
this thing.
Is it a crock pot?
It's essentially a pressure cooker, yes. And dude, it's amazing. You can even make yogurt in this thing. Like my girlfriend's making yogurt all the time. It's the best yogurt I've ever had. And it takes like an hour to make. This thing's incredible. It's a crock pot on crack. Try it
I
out.
wonder how that works.
No idea, man.
Because I feel like the whole thing is like the time that it takes. That's
Yeah.
the whole.
Right. Yep.
It's got to be. It's tech, dude.
Do you have an air
Tech.
fryer?
What's that?
Do you have an air fryer?
Yes. Yes.
We talked about
Instant
air
pot,
fryers.
air fryer. You don't need anything else.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I like toaster ovens a lot too. I feel like
Yep.
they're underutilized.
They are. They definitely are.
Toaster ovens are extremely underrated.
Yeah. You're not getting a perfect toaster strudel without
Yeah.
a toaster oven.
Yeah.
You can't toast
gives
it.
you that-
I
it
didn't
gives you that
even
crispiness.
think about putting a toaster strudel in one of those.
dude.
I eat them frozen. No, I have a toaster oven. I gotta clean it though, so I'm gonna plug it in outside of my house and just crank it and leave it out there for like an hour. Because every time I use it, I bought a toaster oven for some reason when I was like 15, and I was the only person that used it up until now still. And I've never cleaned it.
Yeah,
It's
you
so
don't have to.
disgusting.
You don't have to clean it. It's fine. It gives it the flavor of like.
I might use it as a coaster, honestly. Like
Yeah.
coaster oven. So it's called the Instant Pot, though.
Oh yeah, so check that out. They're usually about $80, but you won't believe what you can make with this thing.
That doesn't seem too bad though.
No, it's not.
My dad got a pressure cooker, and that thing is insane. Like, but I don't even know how that works.
It uses pressure
Obviously, but like,
and it cooks.
I'll let you have that one. Thanks, dude.
That's all I know.
But yeah, I just get amazed. I think, honestly, a recent technology that blew my mind was air fryers. Because if you don't have enough time to cook something in the oven, and you also don't want it to be shitty because you cook it in the microwave, air fryer.
Yep.
Right.
Tyson chicken patties and all that shit.
15 minutes.
Dude, and they're amazing. Like, so good.
Yep.
So good. Like, probably apples would be good in it, too. Like,
I don't know how you could ever go wrong with a chicken patty. You know what I mean? That shit's always good.
Yeah.
What I would throw them in the air fryer, and then when they were like 90% cooked, I'd throw on like mozzarella cheese, and then hot sauce and shit, and then peppers, and then I'd finish cooking them, and then I'd pull them out and then dice them up, throw them in a pasta or something.
Yeah.
In your air fryer?
I wouldn't put the pasta in the air fryer.
Right. But I mean, the cheese and stuff, you throw it all in there. It's easy to clean. I haven't done anything like that. So.
Yeah, well, the one we have, it's like you take it apart, and it's like just 3 pieces, like a bucket, and then the little cage thing.
Yep.
And then there's a second piece that you take out, but I would just soak it in Dawn dish soap for like 3 hours or 36 hours, depending on how fast I could get to it. And then just scrub it out.
Nice.
Yeah, the problem though is if you had if the cheese melts and falls off and then you keep it cooking too much, it just smokes up instantly.
Oh, okay.
But that only happened to me once, and then
you won't make that mistake.
But what you got to do is you got to get shredded cheese, you got to ball it up and then set it on top like that, and that way it all melts evenly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even if it falls through the grate, you can still...
Yeah, you go. Be fine. Use your girlfriend's toothbrush. She won't notice.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the move.
Or buy a toothbrush.
Yeah, for cheese.
And yeah, you just use hers.
Yeah. Already use it for the toilet, it doesn't get much worse than that.
Yeah.
That was a joke. Everyone got real silent on that one. So
you
don't actually do that.
Well, you should.
I thought that was for real.
Yeah. Is that like if I was married and I did that to my wife, could she go to a lawyer and be like, I need to divorce my husband? And they're like, why? He's like, he's been cleaning our toilet with
well,
my
I don't
toothbrush."
think you need a reason. You can just say you want to divorce.
Certain states you do, I think. Arkansas.
Really?
Yeah.
It's probably
Well,
true.
you make it up, dude. Whatever. Touch
I
me.
think if you're using her toothbrush to clean the toilet, then there's probably a lot of other things going on.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you're like, well, he does do this. And they're like, yeah, okay.
He
Yeah.
plays Alien Isolation with our kids in the room.
He makes our kids play Alien Isolation.
In VR.
Why isn't that a thing?
It
a
is.
thing?
You can
It
do
is a
that.
thing, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I always feel like the movement in VR is what they need to work on. Unless you have like a treadmill that's like a multi-directional treadmill.
Which they do make.
They
but
do
they're
have those.
Insanely.
Good
They
luck
say
paying
the
for it.
motion sickness with those things is insane, though, because your body thinks it's moving all this. And that's why, like, certain VR games, they do the teleporting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doom does that.
Yeah, so does
Skyrim, maybe?
Skyrim, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, oh my god. I was so sold on Skyrim VR, and then they showed that, and I was like, I understand the problem with motion sickness, but come on. Like,
Well, you could use a controller, right? You move around
I
with a
think
controller.
so.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I think the Oculus is making one that doesn't need a computer now.
Yeah. The Oculus.
I forget what they called it.
Not the Go. It's a new one coming out.
Yeah, I just saw an ad for it.
Yeah. But it's not going to be like completely compatible with like everything that it is today for most things. Like with HTC, you can play anything on Steam.
Yeah, the Vive is the fucking one to go with.
Yeah. Quest, Oculus Quest.
It looks cool. I mean, I just want to try Beat Saber or some shit.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Like that looks like it's so much fun.
Yeah. Whatever that cool gunplay game is. I'm gonna try
Super
that
Hot?
too. Super Hot. Yeah.
Yeah. The one that Wes plays there.
Swords and Sorcery. Blade and Sorcery.
Blade
That's a
and
good
Sorcery.
one. Yeah, I watched a lot of videos of that. It's
That
like
looks
Dark
cool.
Souls, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of the game
Nope.
Mordhau?
Yeah, you're obsessed with it.
Yeah,
No, I actually
dude.
watched a trailer for it last night.
I'm extremely obsessed. Did you listen to the last episode?
No.
Oh, no.
It's fucking literally though. The game is just yelling and screaming.
He won't play it.
I don't want to pay. I'm not going to pay $30. That's all. You know?
It is a little pricey. It looks mad fun, but it also looks like I'd get frustrated very quickly.
Dude,
I haven't played
It is
Chivalry, so
yeah, it's a better version of Chivalry. Wes bought the game when it came out, and I got it within the past week. I'm already further in the game than he is. That's how fucking much I've been playing it. I cannot stop.
yeah, that's like me with
Like,
Insurgency though.
I was
like
that's
level fucking 50 before any of you guys.
None of us were past level 10, and he already has like 150 hours in the game that we showed him. But yeah, no, Mordhau is so good. I can't stop. Wes and I play every night. I'll literally like throw on a podcast and just play that game for like 4 hours straight. And like, I am dog shit.
'cause
I
you
am
can't-
not good at all. Like, I have been playing it for multiple hours a day, every day for the past week. I am not good.
Well, that says something about the game though. Like if you're not good at it and you're constantly dying and you still want to play it,
It's just hilarious, dude. It's like, the physics are great. The yelling is great. People run around, and you can import a MIDI file into the game, and then have your character play a MIDI file on the loot. So like yesterday, I got fucking team killed because these two dudes were playing fucking like. They were both playing like a guitar solo on their lute, and in the middle of the battle, mind you, two guys on opposite teams are playing on their lutes, and other people in the game were just watching it. I didn't know what was going on, and I just run up to one of the guys, and I'm like from me to that computer monitor away, and I throw a spear into his head, and his head just like splits in half, and he drops the loot. And everybody turns and looks at me. Chat goes crazy, and they all just beat me to death. My own team, because they were just... It's just such a goofy game, dude. I am obsessed with it, though. Like, I can't stop. And I'm not even trying to get better. Like, I could be watching tutorials. I could have done the tutorial.
yeah, you could watch you could watch the MLG pros. Does MLG still exist or no? They gotta still exist.
No.
They
I
got
don't
taken
think
over.
so. I think it's all privately funded
Like
now.
most games have their own tournaments and shit. Like
Yeah, and then
like
those games die immediately.
Yeah.
Like,
Rocket League.
now what's that MOBA that Blizzard made? Heroes of the Storm?
Heroes of the Storm flopped, unfortunately.
Yep. Did you play that?
No, I didn't.
I had a couple friends that played it. I couldn't get into MOBAs after Dota 2. I played a lot of League of Legends, and then Krusty Ass tried showing me Dota 2, and it was so confusing.
Yeah, it is.
Overwatch isn't a MOBA, right? What's the one that's a MOBA? Is it Smite? It's like a
Smite.
third-person MOBA.
Yeah. I didn't like that really that much either.
But Overwatch...
The thing is, it's just tough to put out a game that people fucking want to play now. It's like
That's
everything's been done, it feels like.
I think it's insane that Dota 2 is still the most played game on Steam.
Yeah.
Like, it has
Well,
over like
that's-
500,000 players. At
That's
$8.
another thing is like computer gaming, it's easier to do that. Like the publishers can just get them out there a lot easier than going through a marketplace like Xbox or Sony or something. So you see a lot more of that stuff on PC. That's why I like Insurgency, because it feels like it's like every other shooter, but it also it feels different from other shooters.
That's great. That's another wicked good game. Insurgency Sandstorm.
I played. Is it the same game that I played like 10 years ago?
It might be like the original.
The
Insurgency.
original was like Day of Defeat.
Yes, it was a Day of Defeat like mod or like spinoff, right?
Day of Infamy, I think, was originally what it was. Yeah, it was probably 10 years ago, because I'm pretty sure the first Insurgency came out like in 2008.
Yeah, that was the one I played.
Dude,
Yeah.
anytime I play any shooter now, I get pissed because I can't lean left and right. I'm like, why do I have to aim straight up now?
There was a game that the guys that made the Tripwire made, and it was like a crazy realistic World War II game. But yeah, no, Insurgency Sandstorm is phenomenal. That game is... We just play the co-op mode. That's it. Like, the competitive mode, and
It's tough.
it's fucking hard. It's so hard.
Like it's because you can't. There's no hit marker, and there's no indication of whether you've killed someone. like you have to literally watch them die. So in order to know that you got to kill, and there's not really a good. You have to play enough to identify your teammates and shit to know what the enemies look like and shit. So it's kind of hardcore as far as like skill gap goes. I like it though. I just cause like the co-op mode is you can just team up with a bunch of people in one server and fight bots and just fight through. It's a fun game. I think there's like that's the thing is shooters. It's very difficult to come up with something that's kind of unique now because everything is similar, pretty much the same. Since it has the Call of Duty effect, like the Call of Duty,
the Carbonara, the Call of Duty effect.
Well, it's like
every game has to be like slightly fast paced with
everything's
ADS.
a little everything's pretty much the same.
Well, Halo did that to games too. Where every game needed regenerating health.
I think Halo did
grenades on the map.
I think what Halo did was when they came to consoles, they showed people that like you can do shooters on consoles. Like it's a thing, true. You know. And I think a lot of games followed a similar path. It was a really good arena shooter though.
I was gonna say Red Orchestra was the game I was thinking of.
Never heard of it.
It was like a very, very realistic balls to the wall, like World War II game made by Tripwire, the same company that made Killing Floor. And that is also a lot like Insurgency, where there's no HUD. You know, you get whatever guns you start out with, that's all you get. And like, you know, that one was a little more hardcore because if you get shot in the leg, it's like Arma. You get shot in the leg and you limp. And you have to get a medic to fix your leg, and you actually have to fucking do the procedure.
Yeah.
Arma is like that's a game that tons of people play, but it's fucking weirdos play those like hyper simulator like Arma and
that's what I mean.
Squad, I think is the other one.
It's
maybe.
like the more realistic you get, like the more boring it's gonna get.
Yeah. And I watch Arma videos on YouTube sometimes, and it looks like the coolest game ever. But then you go to hop on, and it's like, oh, I have to actually learn how to be a soldier, otherwise you get kicked from every server. Like it's crazy, really crazy.
Yeah, there's like I don't know. I think some of them do it right, and like there's games in that sweet spot like Rainbow Six Siege where like you gotta care about you can't run in and die. Like there's a lot of games like that now. Like Battle Royale games got big because of that, really, because it's like you can't be a fucking rogue. Like you have to make sure that you get one life. I mean, so it's.
Then there's also like the thing that's good is that they're so big is that you can be Rambo, and then if you die, you just start over again immediately in a new server.
I think it makes you think a little bit more about what your plan of attack is and like actually what you're doing. And it forces you to be better, I think.
Mordhau has a battle royale game mode that, like,
Tetris has one, so
true.
Yeah, pretty much.
It literally does now.
Besides Wes, I have like 5 other friends that play Mordhau, but they only play the battle royale mode, and I haven't tried it because
it's a battle royale mode.
I've been there already. Like we played fucking PUBG for literal months on end exclusively almost.
I got into Apex Legends a little bit.
You did, yeah. Do you ever like battle royale games at all?
Not really. I tried Fortnite. I'm like, I get the appeal, but it's not really for me.
Right.
I played a lot of
Minecraft Hunger Games.
What was that zombie game?
H1Z1.
I played so much H1, and then it pretty much shifted exclusively to the Battle Royale version, so I played a little bit of that, but it wasn't
I played
the same.
that too.
It's called King of the Hill or something, right?
King of the Kill.
King of the Kill.
Yeah.
And so I lost interest in that.
That was basically PUBG. Like, that game is very, very similar to PUBG. Or the way it was when I played it, at least.
I think it's cool that it's called a battle royale game because of some random movie made in Japan like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No.
Apparently it was the reason why the Hunger Games was made. It was like I've only seen it once and it was fucking crazy. Like it was such a weird movie. It was like it was just like a harder version of Hunger Games, basically.
Well, I've seen the WWE Royal Rumble, and
that's the same thing.
Basically,
that's like, as good as it gets.
When you boil down Battle Royale,
the difference is
you're just left with the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Like
that. Yeah, that's what it is basically. But the Royal Rumble's different because you got entrances.
It'd be hilarious. If if like the Andre the Giant Battle Royal started off on like a soccer field, and like every minute just the ring gets tighter and tighter.
Yeah, that'd be rough.
It would be. But yeah, I think it's cool, and I really like Battle Royale games, but I'm just I burnt myself out of them.
They
so
burnt
fast.
themselves out, is what happened.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah.
I mean, even CS:GO has a version.
Yeah.
Oh
of
my
it.
god,
Call
that
of
one
Duty-
is so bad
Call of Duty
too. I
has it
couldn't.
now.
And I heard the COD one is like the best one that's out there. Apparently, that's what a lot of people
It's
have told
already
me.
Call of Duty like refined gameplay, so it's like
Yeah.
That's the thing is those other games are building it from the ground up. So Call of Duty's already got this established.
Yeah,
It's weird to me though because Call of Duty was never a game where you care about dying.
yeah.
It was a game where you sprint in with an M16 and just unload on everything.
Yeah.
Or you spawn and toss a frag grenade halfway across the
Immediately.
map
Tomahawk.
and get 4
Yep.
kills. And then you watch the kill cam. Or they watch the kill cam and then they rage quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird how games like take like the craze. I guess is like I don't remember.
I think the
really
hype of Fortnite was part of what killed it. Like
Yeah.
people were like not liking it just because everyone talked about it. It gave that like contrarian effect that everyone gets.
And-
like, oh, did you see Bird Box? No, everybody's talking about that. Fuck that movie. It's trash.
Well, it's the way I am, dude. You should
Yeah,
really
yeah.
check out Critical Role. Nope.
Yeah, fuck that. It's trash.
If I had
Everybody
a
likes it.
$1 for every time somebody recommended me Critical Role, I could buy the trademark and turn it into a Kmart.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I can't get more at how because you like it
Yeah, basically.
too much.
Fucking hate that game now. But just the way that games, I guess Minecraft is one that like really took over because that came out when I was a freshman in high school, and that one was like the popular kids and the scummy kids, and then the butterfly kids like me that were just like all over the place. We all played Minecraft together. It
Yeah,
was
I
weird.
never got into. I didn't understand.
And then
what
before
what the
that, I guess
appeal
it was Call of Duty. And
I've never been big on
Halo.
sandbox games though. I don't know. I never really have. I
Did you
played
have a
like
Sandbox as a kid.
Halo Forge mode was about as deep as I
Hmm.
went into like map creators or anything like that. I'm not Paul because Paul is fucking insane with map creators and
Dude,
shit.
Paul is...
He's like, oh, Super Mario Maker, time to spend 8,000 hours in this
Yeah.
game.
Paul is like such a creative mind with those things.
Dude,
And,
it's
like,
crazy how much time he'll sit
he
there.
would churn out like with
Even
Brawl.
in Halo Forge, he would just sit there and play with make
Yep.
maps.
Dude, he should start playing the Golf Club 2019 featuring PGA Tour because you can create your own golf courses in that game. I would love to see the golf course that Paul.
Can you do mini golf courses?
Probably. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We should do like mini golf course of like our house. Like that's what I would do is work my way down like the vents and shit. Have one that goes down through the heat ducts. That'd be pretty dope.
I wonder if somebody.
I feel like mini golf is just more fun. There's more, there's more windmills. You know what I mean?
There's a clown.
Yeah, yeah. There's more tunnels that you can shoot down into.
Yeah, time it right for when he opens his mouth.
Yeah.
I fucking love Happy Gilmore so much, dude.
You don't get that shit in the
seriously
PGA
is
Tour,
No. I would love to see like a Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson and all
like
those
shooting at a
guys.
giant hippo, like
Dude, yeah, I would love to
hippo.
see like take like the top 25 PGA golfers and throw them
Yeah.
at like Thunder Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I bet they wouldn't be so impressive. They might actually. They'd probably be ridiculous.
They bring their caddies. There's just 50 people in the golf course. Like,
Dude, that's an idea in the works at the shop.
it's getting a mini golf course.
Mini golf tour.
Yeah, there's no pro mini golf.
Nope. So we were thinking about this summer, but we didn't get the details hashed out quick enough. So probably next summer we'll do a tour.
That'd be dope.
So Thunder Island, the one on 31.
Yeah,
Try our carts. Like we're gonna do a turn, like a tour.
there used to be one here. I think, like way back
Really?
forever ago. Yeah, it was over like towards where Walmart is.
It's still there,
No,
isn't it? There's a sketchy
it
one
was
that's
off
like.
to the right side. Like if you're going.
Oh,
going
okay.
out to
No,
Walmart.
oh, yeah. I know what you're talking
I
about.
vaguely remember
It
that.
used to be there. Like
Yeah.
It used to be the AutoZone, right?
Well, I don't think AutoZone turned it into a mini golf course, but it's where that it is.
Or no, AutoZone is there now.
Yeah.
Is what I meant to say. Okay.
I'm thinking of one that was outside the city.
There's
But
still
that-
one,
in that
like, there's
direction.
still a wicked sketchy one out in, like, Straiba.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and
It's not
literally
regulation. It's not regulation.
It's literally like it's a chain link fence, and a mini golf course is inside. And the driving range is actually it's the driving range, and then there's a mini golf course right next to it.
Okay,
There is one there?
Yeah,
we'll have to add that one too.
I'm almost positive.
I know there's the driving range because I go out there sometimes.
Maybe it's near it. I don't know. I don't think it's attached to it, but
Trier Carts has a cool one, though.
Mm-hmm.
You can rent those go-karts out for a half hour. We usually do it almost every year.
Nice.
It's like a half hour per person, or it's like a certain amount per person, and then you just race for a half hour, and it's just you guys on the track.
Yeah,
Half hour is a nice amount of
it's
time.
a long time to race.
It doesn't seem like it when you're on there, though. You're
No.
like, we just got on. What are we doing?
Yeah,
But if you have a watch on, you're like, yep, that's definitely a half hour. It goes by quick.
I remember we went to Buffalo once, like as a family, when I was in middle school, and the state's biggest go-kart track
Yeah.
is there.
Mini golf and go-karts are always, they go
They're
hand in hand.
together. I'm
for some
almost
reason.
positive there's a mini golf course there too.
And ice
But
cream.
yeah, it was like over a mile long. It was like over a mile, and I gotta look it up now. I think it's actually near Alex Bay now. I think about
I
it.
want to do the go-kart track up in Destiny.
I still haven't done it.
You haven't done.
Looks
I was
fun.
really hoping you were to be like, I've been there.
It seems pretty awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Biggest go kart,
There's one in Ohio that was pretty sick too.
New York.
They had mini golf too, but that's not part of the tour.
Nope, it is. What the fuck is it?
We should have a. I mean, I like the idea of the mini golf league. I feel like that's like everybody can get into that. You know, it's not like you don't have to be an athlete for mini golf.
Right.
I like the idea of dodgeball too, though. That'd be
Yeah.
fun. Dodgeball or like kickball or something like that.
Yeah.
People could get into kickball.
Fuck.
You got to type it in like the
Yeah, no
words.
shit, Seth. No, my phone just randomly loses its connection. It just stops working.
Yeah, you need a new phone.
Razor's garbage.
I can't win with anybody ever.
It's like as bad as Mordau, dude. What are you trying to look up?
The go-kart track I went to when I was a teenager.
Oh, you're never gonna find that. Are you kidding
It's
me?
not even around anymore. It was like Grandpa Bob's. Do you remember Grandpa Bob's?
No one remembers Grandpa
What
Bob.
the fuck? Dude, how does nobody remember that petting zoo?
'Cause it
That's
didn't
actually
exist.
fuck you.
He really thinks it exists, and it doesn't.
No, but the Razer phone 2 looks pretty cool. It's got like a RGB thing in the back that I like, because I'm a sucker for that right now.
You
If it has RGBs, I'm sold immediately.
You gotta see the keyboard. I have the Razer Black Widow Chroma Ultimate Edition. You know. But
It's a keyboard.
it's got RGB in the switches. It's like 3 years old. But I updated it because I just finally started using it again. Because I have a desk again now for the first time in like 2.5 years. And I have a audio visualizer in the keyboard. So the first third is green, depending on the sound levels. So I can tell whenever I'm being too loud because I'm in an apartment building now.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
that's literally the only reason I got it. Whenever it gets over like a certain decibel level, it clips on the keyboard.
Gotcha.
But it's great because whenever I play Mordhau and I press V to have my guy scream, my keyboard is like between green and yellow, and then all of a sudden I press V and it's like, ah!
That's a pretty cool setting, though.
It is. It's pretty dope. I don't know what the fuck it was called. Okay, you win. I don't know. The go-kart track didn't exist. You know, my grandpa never existed. Apparently, he never took us there.
It was all theoretical.
Yeah. I remember my grandma. we went to Thunder Island and went go-karting, and my grandma got kicked out because she thought it was bumper cars. And she was like ramming into people. Yeah, it was hilarious.
My god.
It's like going backwards,
Yeah.
like NASCAR 2000. That's all I did.
You're going the wrong way.
Jesus. That's what
was
I did
loud.
in NASCAR 2000. Like literally, I would just immediately start and then immediately U-turn and drive as fast as I can into the opposing cars.
Well, they got to the point where when you went backwards for too long,
would just
like,
stop
they would-
you.
and they would make you go back.
Yeah. I think Mario Kart even does that. I
Yeah.
don't think you can even go
The guy
backwards
picks
now.
you up with a cloud.
Yeah. That guy's such an asshole.
Lakitu.
Although
I was
he's
just gonna say Lakitu.
yeah, he's good though too. Because if you fall in the water, he's gonna save your ass.
Yeah.
I never got how to boost. I could never time it right to boost right when he sets you down. Because you can hit the gas like right at the right spot.
I've only been able to do it in 64.
I was gonna say I could only do it in Mario Kart Wii.
Yeah,
So they change it up every year, I guess.
Yeah, they must.
Every version of the game, they're like,
because I can do it right at the beginning of the race when it hits the green or whatever. But
my friends won't play like Zamaya and Dan and everybody. They won't play Mario Kart with me anymore. They won't play Mortal Kombat with me anymore.
Well, Mario Kart's a game where like you're gonna lose friends. Like that's just it's like Mario Party.
Well, I think it's when you play Mario Kart enough, especially because it's made for kids. You can be a fucking scumlord with it because it's so simple. Like I would purposefully be in second place the whole game. And then wait for, because there's always 2 blue shells every race. Yeah. You wait for the second blue shell to hit like halfway through lap 3, and then you just win. And I did that like every time we got together and played Mario Kart, and can't
blue
do it.
shell is dumb.
It's the stupidest fucking concept. Like
in the new ones, it's not on the track anymore, is it? Like it goes up above, right? In the one on for the Switch.
Yeah, it flies ahead of everybody. It used to be like the coil from CTR.
Yeah,
remember Crash Team?
And
it would fuck up everything in front of you.
Oh, really? It would go.
You ever played Crash Team Racing?
I thought in. Oh no, not. I don't think so. At least
that one was like a black hole. And if you were like last place, it would literally go.
Everybody.
It would fuck everybody up in front of you, no matter what, and you couldn't do anything. At least in in Mario Kart, there's ways to avoid the blue shell if you go on a cannon or something.
Yeah, they had that.
Or if you drive like along the outside of the track, because I think it just shoots down the middle.
Yeah, because sometimes like in 64, I think the blue shell would hit the guy that's like in front of you. It would be going for the first place guy, but it would always hit the guy that's in front of you because it's Yeah, I remember playing NASCAR Rumble, and they had a tornado that you could shoot at cars.
Dude, my grandpa was such a dick with that because he would get the tornado by staying in last place, and then he was good enough. He played NASCAR Rumble in manual because he could, and then he would get first place, and then whenever like me or my cousin Kyle or anybody else would pass him, he'd just like tornado right before the end of the race.
They had like a thunderstorm that would like cover your whole screen. You couldn't see shit. They had like that weird orange panel that was on the front of your car, and you could just ram through everything.
Yep. My favorite item in Mario Kart, however, though, is the fucking bullet bill.
Oh yeah,
that is the most satisfying item in the game. When you get that, like I would take one of those over 2 stars any day.
Yeah,
for sure. Like
because it like boosts you way up, like it
boosts you, and then it fucks up everybody in your way. I think besides the blue shell, though, the scummiest item is the lightning bolt, and it shrinks everybody, right?
Yeah.
And you lose all your items.
Yeah.
That's the worst part.
And you get run over, and then you get flattened out.
Yep, that sucks.
They're making a new Crash Team Racing, though.
Yeah.
And I'm almost more excited for that than Death Stranding.
That. Oh, dude, I am so deep into Death Stranding. I can't wait for that to come out. Cannot wait. I'm a Kojima fanboy, dude.
Yeah.
I really am.
He's got a pretty rabid fan base too, though. Yeah. Like he's got a lot of followers.
It's pretty crazy. It's almost like the Grateful Dead.
Yeah. The Dead.
I would say it's. What are his other games that he's done besides Metal Gear?
Nothing else that really mattered. He did direct a Castlevania game once, and it was pretty decent. But it was like the standard like Dracula story, like Bram Stoker's Dracula. It was pretty much the same thing. You except you played as Gabriel, and it was pretty basic, but it was a good game. He developed some game way back for the DS that was just, I don't know, he was a hired gun for
Nintendogs.
Yeah, something stupid. You know?
And you pet the Nintendog enough, and its mouth opens up, and it just becomes like a fucking like a body horror, like Call of Cthulhu monster. And then it hands you a VR headset, and it's like, welcome to the game.
Yeah, and then it's
you put it on. It's just Metal Gear 2.
Yeah.
Did you ever play the original Metal Gear 1 or 2?
Yes.
Dave was talking about him.
Dave and I played them together once.
That's okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
They're awesome, dude.
Yeah.
For Nintendo games, they were awesome.
I watched a video about how the the American version was completely different from the Japanese version, apparently.
2 was.
2 was, okay.
Yeah, that's true. But the American version, Snake's Revenge, is like the one that's accepted as canon, I guess.
Okay.
One cool thing, one redeeming factor about the story in Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain, is... Did you play Metal Gear 1 and 2?
I played through them. I know what happens, kinda still.
Okay.
I never
Synopsis.
beat them. Yeah, I went through the database.
Right.
And
So at the end of Metal Gear 1, you roast Big Boss to a crisp.
And then that's what people think is the corpse in Metal Gear Solid 4, but then it turns out that it's actually Solidus Snake.
Correct.
Because he's a clone of Big Boss and he has the same genetic profile.
Exactly.
That's fucked that I knew.
Yeah.
That. Like, I just pulled that out of my eyebrow.
That's definitely true. But in 2, you fight him again. So everyone's like, how? And it's revealed in 5.
Yeah, I was going to say, spoiler alert, because I
reveal.
already spoiled it for you, because isn't the guy that you play as in 5 not actually Big Boss?
That's correct.
That's why he's missing an arm, and the Big Boss in the rest of the games isn't missing an arm.
Yep.
It's something to do with a face transplant, right? Or something like that.
Some of that.
You can just tell me. Like, I really don't care about the story.
Okay.
I just really only care about what happens to Quiet.
Yeah, but what
so
about
don't tell me what happens to Quiet.
Okay.
Pretty sure she just leaves. I don't remember.
You can
exactly.
keep her around.
You can keep her around.
But yeah, main story is she leaves. So you play as Venom Snake, and so his deal was he was good friends with Big Boss. But so Big Boss only knows combat. There is no putting him in an average life. It's not going to happen. So he feels for all of these like child soldiers.
That's right.
Like in Africa and
Like-
stuff, because
like
they were
Chico and Paz.
yeah, pretty much. But more so like
eventually Raiden.
yeah.
I think.
More
thought
so
Raiden was
like
the
kids
guy
in
with the
Africa
hat.
who
Oh,
are
yeah.
like taken as children soldiers and taught only to kill. So these people have no place other than the battlefield. So there's a lot more to it than that, but basically he wants to start his own private military. He's military without borders. There's like Militaris de Frontieres or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's becoming so powerful and so strong that government agencies got to take him out. He's a threat, even though he's a hired gun. He's like, I don't really have a mission to kill anybody. So his plan is to divert attention. And
It's a
so
good plan.
he, while on an aircraft, gets blown up. He survives, but his friend gets really fucked up. So he decides that he's going to take his friend to a government-owned hospital, have his face reconstructed, and also kind of weirdly implant his memory and combat skills into him to pose as Big Boss.
Yeah.
And then he goes off and builds his own private military in secret. So Venom has a dummy base, dummy soldiers.
Yeah, he's the scapegoat, dude.
Yeah, and so he dies.
He's the
But
Yeah.
real Big Boss lives on.
But Venom doesn't die until Metal Gear 1, right? Or does he die at the end
Right.
of 5? Okay, so he
nope.
does die at the end of 1.
Yep. He finds
Yeah.
out who he really is at the end of 5, which is crazy.
Yeah. No, I knew something was up immediately when I first played 5 because he's missing an arm.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, so either the plausible thing that everybody thought of was like, all right, by the time, it gets to be present day, they make his fake arm look real, which for some reason getting your arm removed and replaced is a recurring theme in Metal Gear because it happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like 3 different characters get their limbs replaced.
Ocelot,
Yeah.
Raiden.
Yeah, they just 3D print him.
Apparently.
There you go.
But yeah, it's just fun. I mean, the whole story was spoiled, but if you haven't played it yet, you should fucking just play it because the gameplay is so good.
You know what sucks for Kojima is, I don't remember if you remember the release of that, but he tried to play it off like he was releasing a different game entirely. What are you looking for?
I was looking for my phone. I thought Seth hit it, but I actually threw it across the room.
So Kojima posed as some random guy with some random company, and they were coming out with this game called The Phantom Pain. Unfortunately, everyone figured out it was Kojima, everyone figured out it was a Metal Gear game, and everyone figured out that you're not actually playing as Big Boss, all before the game even released. And that sucks for him. So, which makes me believe that this new game, Death Stranding, also is going to have a big twist that he's not even close to letting anyone in on.
It's going to have the Shyamalan twist.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Well, every game has that, like, oh shit moment, you know, like,
Yeah.
For the oh shit moment really doesn't happen until, I would say, the very
end, last scene.
When, you know, Solid is sitting in the fucking cemetery.
Why is his name Solid?
And there's Solid Liquid and
it's
Solid.
a code name.
Yeah, it's a code name. What's his
He's
real
a
name?
clone.
His real name is John, isn't it?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
So is Master Chief.
Yeah. So John is in the cemetery, and he dies essentially because he's aging so fast. There's nothing they can do for him, but it's undefined.
Right.
That's the shitty thing though, is every other character in the series gets such a happy ending. Like, it's everybody else literally gets the happiest ending they could get, except for the guy that you just played as for your entire childhood.
Yeah. And same thing with him too. He's like, I don't know a normal life. I only know the battlefield. So like, what am I going to do? Almost kills himself.
Yeah. And then fucking the oh shit moment is that, like, the two guys that were at Big Boss shows up.
Big Boss and with Zero.
Who they were the two guys that, like, basically set the entire franchise into motion, finally meet each other for the first time.
Yeah.
Zero dies.
Yeah, you pull the plug on him.
You pull the plug on him, and then does Big Boss die? He just leaves. I'm pretty sure he just
walks away. Yeah.
The scapegoat dies.
Yeah, it was crazy, especially because, like,
it seems like an awesome storyline.
It is great, man.
It really is, dude. I mean, we spoiled a bit of it, but most of it.
There's still
There's just so much that, like
the
so
Patriots
meaningful.
and the SOP system,
God.
what the Patriots was, what it is, and then what it becomes. It's so crazy.
The
dude.
philosophers, like
Philosopher's
the Patriots
Legacy,
before
dude.
the Patriots
Dude,
before the
it's
Patriots.
So awesome.
Like, you find out that World War I, World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the Cold War was all after this, like, fucking crazy piece of technology, which ends up becoming the nanomachines and the AI system and stuff.
What was that? What was the technology?
It was the little chip that Eva is after in Metal Gear Solid 3,
that's-
right? Or
that's
no,
money.
it was the legacy.
Yeah,
that's
money
right,
that-
right. It was like Bitcoin.
Pretty much that was earned from World War I.
That's right. Okay.
They were going to use that to build essentially the Patriots and the whole system.
Yeah, it's so fucking crazy.
It's nuts, dude.
It's really like, I don't know, like Metal Gear Solid 4, and I also had like
how much do they present all of this storyline throughout the games, or is it?
Yeah.
all?
Yeah, it's all revealed over time.
That's
And
why
it's
there's so many
crazy how it all
cutscenes.
falls together.
That's
dude.
why there's so many
Yeah, there's a
cutscenes
lot
in
of
the game. I
cutscenes.
mean, Metal Gear Solid 4 is actually mostly mostly cutscenes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it has over 20 hours of cutscenes.
It definitely holds the record for most cinematic time in a video game. Not it doesn't hold the record for the longest set.
Well,
I don't think.
Do the Telltale games count?
No.
Because they're pretty much all cinematic.
Neither does What Remains of Edith Finch, which apparently is amazing.
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn was great. But yeah, I mean, the Metal Gear Solid franchise, amazing. I could gush about that for the next 6 hours.
I'm
but
in
I got
that
work
boat
tomorrow.
with you, dude.
Yeah. Well, like, I had a PS3 then that could play PS1 games and PS2 games.
I still have one.
So when I was waiting for Metal Gear Solid 4, I literally sat there and I played through 1, 2, 3, and 4. By the time I finished 3, 4 had come out. And, like, 4 was just such a fucking... It was a money shot. It was just a 35-hour money shot.
It really was.
Like,
dude. It was.
Like, it starts off and it's just... you start off in a crazy battle. And
In
then
Afghanistan.
And then all of a sudden you run into this fucking Spec Ops team that is a character from Metal Gear Solid 1, and then her friends, and then you have to help them. You fight those fucking the Haven troops.
I don't think so. So I would have to play through all.
It's
of it
very
probably,
Japanesey. Like it could have been.
There's no spot where you can like jump in and kind of grasp all of it.
You could probably get away with just playing 4, but it would not.
It won't hit
much.
you as hard as it should. Honestly, yeah, you could pick up any one of those games and enjoy it thoroughly. But you're gonna be yearning for the whole story.
Yeah,
you will be.
Like, because that's what got Wes was 3. Metal Gear Solid 3
yeah?
got Wes, and then he played through the rest of them. I'm pretty sure he played through the rest of them. I mean, I was hooked. Like, my dad's favorite game besides Alien Trilogy is Metal Gear Solid 1. And then I got the Twin Snakes when I was like way too young to play that game. And I was like 7 or 8 when that game came out. And my dad bought it for me, and I was like, "Yep, okay, Metal Gear Solid's my thing." Like, I like Metal Gear Solid more than Final Fantasy. Like, that's a serious claim. Like,
it's almost too much. I don't believe it.
yeah, 3 was just cool too. 3 changed the game. Coming out in like 05, and you have like you had to actually change your camouflage pattern. You had to hunt animals to survive.
Hunt and eat.
Yep. If you
That's
got
cool.
if you got,
it's also time consuming. I think that is.
it almost isn't. It isn't.
I mean,
though.
Red Dead. I haven't played Red Dead 2, but
It's not
a lot
that
of people
crazy.
are saying like it's a lot of like.
It's not that crazy because
doing
it's a linear
side shit.
storyline.
Yeah.
Mostly you could get away with just eating noodles,
Yeah.
but like if you eat certain animals, you get bonuses.
Yeah, just eat rations.
The crazy thing is that like if you get in a really bad gunfight, you have to obviously escape or win the battle, but then you actually have to go to like a medical tent or have the supplies on you and actually perform surgery on yourself in the battlefield, which is
pretty cool.
Was a fucking wicked
cool thing.
wicked bad thing to watch when you're like 8. You're like watching this half naked guy like pull the bullet out of his chest. Like, oh, it was so brutal. Like, it's brutal now, but you don't even think about it because you're just, oh, this is so cool. Like, 2 was just a mind.
Is that what you sounded like?
2 is still a mindfuck to this day, dude. It's crazy how like postmodern it is, and like you said, it's debated whether it even happened. And people come to Kojima about it, and his message basically is doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I think Snake says something like that at the end of 2. He's like, dude, it doesn't matter what you consider canon. It's weird how fourth wall it gets at the end of that game.
Yeah, it's like it's something like as long as you're getting enjoyment out of something, it doesn't matter if it's real or not.
Right. And then people are like, wait, did any of this actually happen?
Yeah.
It's all
Is this
VR.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
They're
theory
living in a
because
simulation, dude. It's just like real life.
That's the premise of the game.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Because Metal Gear Solid 1 came with the VR missions if you bought the 2-disc copy.
Yeah.
And it's just like snippets of all these basically demos of the game, and then you play the real game. And the real Metal Gear Solid 1 did happen. And then you get to Metal Gear Solid 2, and this is the thing I didn't get to experience because I played 2.
Oh, so I definitely played the demos of Metal Gear Solid then.
for sure.
They were huge.
Oh my
I
god, yeah.
remember-
People would buy the demo discs just for Metal Gear Solid because it was like the first like hour and a half of the game.
Yeah.
It was
I
up
think
on-
Pizza Hut was handing them out back in the day.
yeah.
Yeah.
The green disc. It was the
Yeah.
green Pizza Hut demo disc had Metal Gear Solid on it.
Comes with every pan pizza. Dude.
Yeah. But I never got to play 2 when it came out. But the thing that blew people's minds was that Snake is on the cover. You play as Snake for like the first 3 hours of the game, and then all of a sudden, he fucking dies. You think the thing he's on explodes, the ship he's on explodes
dies in
or something, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And then you play as Raiden, and he has heard of Snake and has no idea who he is. And then, like, partway through the game, Snake shows up. And it
As
still blew
someone
my
else.
mind. It still blew my mind, but he shows up under a fake name. And, like, is just there. It's such a weird fucking thing.
You know what's
And
crazy? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say the whole did it really happen thing is the fact that the whole game, like, you're playing as Raiden, and he's talking to Snake, and he's talking to the Colonel and all these
Campbell.
other people. They're like, are you sure you can do this? Are you sure you can kill this boss? Are you sure you can do this mission? He's like, don't worry, I've done every single VR mission available.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he
all
was
they're
in the
talking about
Animus,
is
dude. He was in the Animus for like fucking
yeah. What were you gonna say?
So after the tanker mission, when you're swimming in as Raiden masked,
Yeah.
Colonel's talking to you, and he keeps calling you Snake. And then, like, within the hour, I almost had to sneeze. Within the hour, Colonel's like, oh, so we have to switch your code name. And Raiden's like, why? He's like, well, we just have to. We're going to call you Raiden from here on out.
Yeah.
And that's basically when Colonel found out that the real Snake showed up. And you never find that out until like the end, and you look back like, oh. But then you realize that the Colonel wasn't even really the Colonel.
Yeah, and then you actually put in your own code name that pops up on your HUD.
Yeah. So that's a weird thing, too. Yeah,
that never happened in any of...
Right.
Dude, it's a whole fucking...
So
it's a whole
it
thing.
It messes with you bad.
Yeah, it's a whole ordeal. And then it's like basically 2 is almost...
It's fucking with me just trying to keep up with it in the first place.
Yeah. 2 is almost a carbon copy of 1.
That's the S3 program or whatever, which even that is ambiguous too.
You can get the Metal Gear Solid collection for Xbox for like $20, and it has 2 and 3 on there.
Yeah, it doesn't have 1 though.
It doesn't have 1. You can emulate 1. I would personally play the Twin Snakes
if you can get
get the Twin Snakes. You could probably emulate it.
Hopefully, because the real copy goes for over $100.
Yeah,
so.
That's crazy.
But because the original Metal Gear Solid 1 is so hard.
I remember seeing Final Fantasy VII for PlayStation going for like wicked, ridiculous amounts of money, and I was like, "Fuck!" I had that game. Yeah. Like I had all the discs.
2 copies. I'm trying to sell.
I bought a used copy on Amazon for over $50 once.
Yep, that's the way to go.
There's the misprint copy of 7. You ever heard of that one?
I don't think so.
They fucked up the Japanese to English translation on the back of the box.
Okay.
And fucked up like 2 of the words.
And you got to have the one that doesn't say greatest hits.
Right.
That too.
Right.
Yeah. If it says greatest hits,
it was just one edition of the game that has all the typo on it. I think it actually might be one. It might be a typo goes for at least $1,000.
That's amazing, dude.
Because it's an edition of a game that you can get on your phone or your fridge or like eventually your toaster. You're gonna be able to get it so your dog can play it when it goes to your water bowl
and your air fryer and shit. Yeah. I watched Solo: A Star Wars Story finally.
Was it good?
What'd you think?
How do you feel? How do you feel about Star Wars?
I like Star Wars a lot.
Okay, I was gonna say.
It's just that I think like you have to. There's a suspension of disbelief where you gotta put off the fact that it's not Harrison Ford. That's the first thing.
Did you see it?
It's a little weird seeing Woody Harrelson in the fucking in Star Wars because you're like, I know who that guy is. It's a little bit more believable, like when you see Episode 7. And you're like, I don't know any of these actors really, so. But I thought the story was good. I felt like the way that he met Chewie was kind of just thrown in real quick.
That was my least favorite part of the movie.
Like they kind of just threw that.
Well, I know how Han Solo's story ends, so spoil the beginning for me. So how does he meet Chewie? I'm gonna watch it. I'm probably gonna get drunk and watch it eventually. So.
He's
just run in. Don't they get thrown in prison together or something?
Yeah, well, he gets fed to him basically. Yeah. He gets fed to Chewbacca, and he speaks Wookiee, like a little bit of Wookiee, enough to somehow he speaks Wookiee.
But no one else does, you know?
Right?
Okay, so Red Letter Media like predicted Solo then, because I remember watching them predict it. So he gets thrown into.
He speaks enough Wookiee to get him to like
calm down,
to join up and get out,
break
out
of the thing. Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool, I guess. But
it was okay. I just felt like it was thrown in. It was only like a fucking 10-minute scene, and it was like right at the beginning too. Like it was 15 minutes into the film.
It would have been really cool if they made it so like they grew up together somehow.
They threw a lot of twists and turns at you at the end.
Darth Maul shows up, I heard.
Darth Maul does show up.
That was actually really cool.
Yeah. I've always been like wanting more Darth Maul like lore.
Everybody has.
Yeah. But it's interesting because now they do have somewhere to go with that if they want to.
He's got to be in episode 9 then.
Hope so.
Yeah.
We're getting Palpatine.
Yeah. Huh? What is
see that trailer?
No.
You didn't see the new Star Wars trailer?
Okay, you know how I am with Death Stranding?
Yeah.
How I'm not really. I do that with everything.
Well,
literally,
they still
everything.
don't. They still haven't said anything
Except
about
football.
Snoke because Snoke has been there and
wasted character, man.
No one.
He
knows.
better come back because that's a waste.
It should. Yeah. I hope it was a projection.
Something,
or
dude.
like
something.
Maybe it could have been Venom Snake.
You never see the physical version of Snoke. I don't think
you see him at 8.
Yeah, he gets cut.
He gets sliced in half.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
It
was an odd character. They kind of threw him in there and were like
so much potential.
8 was cool.
Maybe they were like, we'll use Darth Maul. We'll bring him back. That could have been the idea.
I mean, Ryan Johnson wrote it, so he probably wanted to do something crazy and like out of left field, and it just didn't land right. I know Abrams will pull it all back together though.
Yeah, I mean, really, the cinematography is what gets me all the time. Like, it's just so they're well-made movies.
Yes.
I mean, they have such a fucking huge budget, though.
I'm gonna be like such a fucking purist
I think the reason it didn't do super well is because it came out like 5 months after The Last Jedi.
Oh my god, yeah. It should have came out in the holiday season.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna sound like a huge purist, and
that's okay with Star Wars.
Okay, word. My only problem with Star Wars is that they came out way too fast.
Oh yeah.
Like, I would have been so okay with them taking at least 4 or 5 years, and then just throw the mini stories at us.
I like that they don't present the mini stories as like Star Wars movies, though.
Yeah, it's a Star Wars story.
There's no text traveling through at the beginning or anything. They kind of
really
don't.
It's a little bit
more. Yeah,
I'm almost more interested in the offshoot movies than I am with the new trilogy, because I fucking loved Rogue One.
You did?
I loved Rogue, and I am just such like I loved it, and just because it's a story that nobody needed. Like, it was so unnecessary, but like honestly, just the final like half hour of the movie makes it for me. When they get to the planet, that whole battle scene, it was fucking brutal. Everybody dies.
Yep.
And then Darth Vader shows up for 60 seconds and fucks up all those guys.
That was another thing.
But the first hour of the movie is fucking urine, dude.
Another thing about Solo was like he meets up with a group of like 5 people, and then most of them die. Like pretty much.
And isn't one of them like the love interest turns on him?
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I think I watched an analysis video of Solo instead of spending the money to see it.
It's weird. Like the whole thing, a lot of Star Wars fans just don't like the way like Luke Skywalker went in like the newer ones.
Well, I just read an article last night about how the guy that plays Admiral Akbar.
Yeah.
Did you read this article?
Mm-mm.
Dude, it was really fucking depressing. Basically, the guy talks about wait, were you going to say something else after Luke Skywalker?
Well, I don't remember.
I'm sorry.
I'll come back to it.
The guy that plays Admiral Akbar was talking about how when they shot The Last Jedi, you would only get the script for the scenes that you were shooting that day. So you didn't get the whole script for the movie because they wanted to keep it on the...
Only Mark Hamill got the full script.
Yeah. And so Admiral Akbar was in a few scenes in the background. He had like 2 or 3 lines, I think. But then he just dies immediately, like basically off screen. He dies, and the actor that played Admiral Akbar represented the character since he was created. Loved playing that character. I think it was like the only guy that basically his big thing with the movie industry was that he created basically extremely advanced puppets. He was the puppeteer for Akbar inside the suit and made it that. And he modeled all the puppets for all the Star Wars movies, a lot of other crazy movies like Labyrinth that have amazing puppeteering.
It was Jim Henson though, right?
Probably, I don't know. I'm talking on my ass a little bit. But this guy was just like, he was a fucking pioneer for puppeteering. Jimi Hendrix was up there too. But basically, long story short, he keeps hoping that like, Admiral Akbar has got it. Like, they brought him back for Force Awakens. He's gonna be back in this one, and we have all these cool fucking battles and stuff planned and all this. And then he comes in on his last day of shooting, and they're like, yes. So he finds out, I'm gonna die off screen in this movie, in this franchise that I've been a part of for like over half my life.
Hasn't really been a main character though.
He was a character that everybody liked.
Yeah, he was like a fan favorite character.
Yeah, I mean, I really felt bad, and he was basically talking about how they had to reshoot the scene like 2 or 3 times because he kept just fucking losing it in the suit. Yeah,
I think they should just bring back Jar Jar.
When they killed him off, when they killed him off, they were doing a behind the scenes thing for like every character's last scene. They were like doing the click thing, and they wanted him to be in the suit. And when he clicked the director thing, just say, "It's a wrap," instead of it's a trap.
Oh my God.
And he fucking walked out of the
Really?
studio. Yeah.
Oh man.
And like he's like, that's it. He goes, that's a character that I created and loved, and he went to Comic-Cons and events and stuff like that, and loved being part of the series. And he just gets cast aside, like off screen. And that's my problem. Is they did that with Luke. I mean, Luke dies in such a stupid way, and I really hope he's not dead, but he's definitely dead. And they fucked up because Carrie Fisher loves ecstasy.
Dead. I think he is.
Like
he's definitely dead. I kind of liked the way he went out.
I thought it was
that
kind
final
of cool,
battle,
like
that when he was a hologram the whole time.
Yeah.
I thought that was amazing.
That like The Last Jedi was definitely the most Marvel-esque movie.
Yeah.
Like that's the closest you could get to a Marvel movie with the Star Wars
It was very
characters.
like grand in the scale.
It was very unnecessarily comedic. Was my biggest flaw.
I'll give you that.
There was like 5 AT-ATs just like shooting at him.
But yeah, I was gonna say the fact that the movie literally opens up with a Yo Mama joke.
That made me mad.
Yeah.
That made me very mad.
The rest of the movie was good. Rose is annoying. I didn't like Rose.
that
pointless character.
Yeah.
I feel like they open up with they're trying to shoot with a little joke every time, it seems like.
That's-
Because
yeah,
I noticed that
comic
in
relief,
Solo.
but
They were like, here's a little
really-
joke.
Yeah. You can't
But it's
take,
like kiddie joke. It's not.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Right.
it's not like Guardians of the Galaxy is one of my favorite. It's the only Marvel movie I really like. And like that movie is mostly a comedy as well, but they do it in such a good way that it doesn't take away from your focus. I guess is what I'm
Yeah,
trying
it's not Lego Star Wars comedy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not the
Star
Lego
Wars
games.
is such a good game.
They're great games,
fucking
but
love
that's the
that
style
game.
of comedy they shoot for, though.
But I like The Last Jedi. Like all in all, I didn't like it as much as The Force Awakens. Like The Force Awakens.
Force Awakens was amazing.
Like my dad and I went and saw that, and like we cried together for that movie because he loves Star Wars a shit ton, grew up on it, and then I grew up on it. I mean, it's like a generational thing, and then all of a sudden, like, because I was in college, so I was like my first semester of college, and we see Force Awakens together, and it's like when the text came on the screen, I fucking lost it.
That was something special, man. It really was. But going back to The Last Jedi, that scene with Luke and Kylo, why I loved it so much was, I'm not sure the term I want to use to describe it. So when Luke shows up to like the little cave that everybody's at, and he shows up and like it's not the reunion that it was supposed to be. And so I'm like, what? And I was kind of upset by that. But 3PO looks at him and says something. I think he just says Luke. And
Master Skywalker,
yeah,
or whatever.
And then Luke winks and walks away. I was like, first I was mad because that wasn't the reunion it was supposed to be. Then I was intrigued. I'm like, wait,
There's something's
something's
about this.
not right there.
Yeah.
And then he goes and fights Kylo, and instead of fighting, he's like Matrix dodging and stuff and doing all this weird stuff. But a main like cinematic aspect for that whole scene was the red sand. It's like white on top, but you kick it up, it's like red.
He was
Yeah.
walking.
So he was walking, you didn't see it. Kylo's kicking up all this sand, Luke isn't, and I'm just like, I'm literally in my seat like, what is going on? Something isn't right. What is going on? And it's dangling in front of me the whole time until they revealed it, and I was like, oh yes, that's
not only
everything I
that,
wanted.
but like I just felt like even like the color
Yeah,
scheme
no, I
and the
agree.
scenery and all
Yeah.
that shit was
Yeah.
just so good in that
It was.
fucking scene.
like you said, the cinematography.
Yeah, like just it was a brighter, more like epic scene than I'd seen in any Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
It really, like, because in the trailer or the preview or whatever, I remember seeing it and I was like, oh, they go back to Hoth.
right.
And then all of a sudden they have the little skittering things, and all red sand is coming in. It's like,
Yeah.
what? Or red powder, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, that last scene. And Quentin Tarantino's in that scene, actually. I'm pretty sure it's Quentin Tarantino. That's beside the point.
What?
Oh,
He's an extra.
He's in the Kylo.
He's an extra in the trenches. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Tarantino. It's another like big shot actor / director or somebody.
sure it wasn't Jimi Hendrix.
Positive. Because who's the guy that plays? I just wanted to digress and go back to who's the guy that plays James Bond in Casino Royale?
Daniel Craig.
He's
a
in.
stormtrooper.
He's a stormtrooper.
Wicked cool.
Yeah.
And Simon Pegg is in Force Awakens as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, a
Oh,
lot of
yeah,
cool
I forgot
cameos in
about
there.
Yeah. I don't I'm not in love with the direction it's going in, but I do really like the fact that a whole new generation of people get to grow up with new Star Wars movies. Because we got to do that.
I just hope they're watching the older ones too.
Yeah.
Except for, well, some of the older ones.
Dude, I honestly, like, I went back and rewatched the prequels a while ago, and they actually are not that bad.
It's Jar Jar.
Episode 2 is pretty mediocre.
Yeah.
Episode 1 has Jar Jar.
Yeah.
But episode 3, it might be
sweet,
the
dude.
best out of all the movies.
Good,
like, you could make an argument that it's at least the second best.
They brought it together.
Because
they brought it together perfectly, I thought.
Yeah,
it just worked out so well.
Well, the opening is crazy. I remember watching that.
Is that the one where they're in the seat, like the speeder things, and through like up in the city there in the sky?
Nope, that's 2.
Yeah, that's
Is it 2?
Yeah, where they're jumping from like fucking ship
yeah.
to ship trying to hunt
Chase
down
That's
that
Qui-Gon.
bounty.
Yeah.
3 was when they start off and they're in their starfighters, and you just get to see, because the thing that my dad would talk about was all of the prequels. You hear about how amazing Darth Vader is at being a starfighter pilot, and you see it here and there, but then you see Anakin in 3 literally taking out entire armies with one regular ship, like that whole scene, and then they just kill Count Dooku immediately. The big bad from episode 2, they just nix him, and then it's like Grievous is there. What the fuck? And he was badass.
He was a weird character, but yeah, he was
I
pretty
liked
cool.
him in not the Clone Wars 3D series, but did you ever watch Star Wars Clone Wars?
Watched a lot of
the
it.
2D one.
Very cool, man.
That one was crazy. It was like an anime.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, my favorite will always be the original. I still tear up like when Luke looks at the 2 sons.
Yeah.
That and the music play.
I had some faith in Restored because I cut up a young kid. Dude couldn't be any less or any more than 7 years old. He's wearing a Star Wars shirt. And I asked him, "What's your favorite movie?" He's like, probably Return of the Jedi. I'm like, yeah,
Return of the Jedi.
I always thought Luke with the all black suit with the black glove
with the
on
green
his right hand.
lightsaber.
That always looked so cool.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi was so goofy, and it like compared to the other 2 in the original trilogy, but it was so cool.
It was cool, man.
The speeder bike scene, like through Endor.
Yeah. Like just like when that first came out, I can't even imagine like the reception.
I talked to my dad about movies and shit like that all the time, and Star Wars is one that
seeing A New Hope, I'd be like, what? This is awesome.
And that's the thing, is that it was never meant to be a full series. It was like, it was literally just called Star Wars.
Yeah. It was really low budget too.
Yeah.
And
just my dad was just, and anybody else will tell you the same thing. Like the way they use CGI and minis, like whenever it's the Star Destroyers flying, they just use like a extremely high focus camera and these little figurines that they made. They hired toy companies to make all the minis, and then they sold the toys. It was just cool. It's crazy, and that kind of innovation will never. It's going to take a long time. Like, I think the last movie that really, and this is going to be whatever to you guys maybe, but Avatar was really crazy for innovation in Hollywood, I think.
I remember seeing it, but I don't really remember.
Just because of how the CGI and the 3D died off, obviously, but the way that how good the CGI and everything was.
That was like one of the big reasons it got so big, was because of that.
But Star Wars is just a phenomenon. The Marvel movies are another phenomenon, but I could not. I couldn't do it, man. Like, I don't know if we were talking about it at the shop a few weeks ago when I was there, but I think we were talking about Endgame. You guys, everybody was talking about Endgame, and I think
because we were watching it.
Yeah, and I think who the fuck is like the is it Keith?
Who's the owner? Yeah.
The owner?
Yeah.
So he was talking to us about Endgame, and he asked me how I felt about it. I was like, dude, I have not seen a single Marvel movie. Like, I got made fun of for liking comics as a kid, and now all of a sudden that it's all cool, I don't fuck with it at all. Like, I'm so upset that the same people that made fun of me for like reading X-Men are going out and watching Infinity War 8 times.
It's going to happen though.
Yeah, eventually.
We all knew nerdy shit was going to be cool in 20 years.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
we had to figure it out ahead of time. Dude.
I want to watch them, but then people tell me, well, you have to watch this one to get. It's like Metal Gear Solid, but it's stretched across 35 films.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like, I don't know if I want to go back and watch all of those.
People. One of my friends from my old job gave me a list basically of the ones that you have to watch because they're amazing.
Right.
And it's like the first Iron Man, like Thor Ragnarok, Captain America, Civil War.
Yep, all
shit
of those.
like that.
But yeah, dude, Infinity War and Endgame are just like mind-blowing movies.
Jake Bear told me to just go see Endgame just to, like, it's a spectacle.
It is, but man, if you can get some prerequisites in, do
That's the thing. I think if I just saw that, it would spoil a lot of what's
it would.
It's built up for.
I had Endgame already spoiled. I'm not going to spoil it for you or whoever else,
I don't
but
even know if I'm going to ever see it. But
just know, like, just hearing people talk about how much it meant to them is enough for me. Like, the shit that happens. And I don't know, I just I wish the Fantastic Four movies could be good. I like Doctor Doom, dude. I want Doctor Doom in Star Wars. What's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Favorite Star Wars movie? I'm gonna say close tie.
We all know it's Phantom Menace.
I would say close tie between
I would say I liked Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi or, honestly, Force Awakens.
Really?
One of those two.
Yeah, I could see Force Awakens. It was like a rekindling.
It really was, and a great one at that.
Yeah, that's why I don't know if I would say it, because the reason it was so effective is because of what came before it.
It's a great point.
It's tough. They're all really good, though. That's the thing, is there's not really one that's actually bad. I wouldn't say there's one that's...
Two was pretty bad. But I mean, it was good, but it was like pretty bad.
I think in an overall, like,
those dumb CGI creatures, like swimming around,
the flying ones, those fucking fellas.
But I think
they're like hummingbirds, basically.
the Geonosis things.
Those guys.
See, that's the thing, is that like the Battle of Geonosis is my only thing that I liked about 2. Oh, and the fight with Yoda and Count Dooku.
Yeah, we got that.
Yeah, Yoda was interesting because you see him like flipping around and shit.
And he's like, whoa, yeah. He's like Kung Pao, dude.
You got Sam Jackson,
Yeah,
that was
dude,
key.
What a star-studded cast.
Yeah,
You had Liam Neeson in the first one.
Liam Neeson's hard, man.
Ewan McGregor.
Yep.
Sam Jackson.
Yep.
Christopher Lee.
Yep.
Hayden Christensen.
I thought he was really, really good as Anakin, honestly. Dude, like,
he tried his
especially
best.
when there's like a moment where you can see like the switch where he goes to Vader.
Yes.
And it's a different character. And like
really
you can tell. And he does a really, really good job of representing that, I thought.
It's like it's like right before he starts to march on the temple.
Mm-hmm.
When he has like it's like
there's like a look where
it's like a Ted
looking.
Bundy
He's
thing.
kind of looking through his eyebrows a little bit, and it's a completely different look.
It really is.
And the fight at the end of 3 was amazing.
Yep. And super emotional.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm always gonna love 4 the most because like you could take like you could take 4 as its own movie as it was made originally and just enjoy that.
Yeah.
And that's what the music is perfect. I mean, the music in all the movies is perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Empire was so cool, like with the Superstar Destroyer and how it starts off with the battle on Hoth, and then none of the characters are really together.
They really made all of the worlds unique.
Yeah.
And even like the costumes that they used and things like that.
That's why I wish there could have been like one more prequel movie in between 2 and 3.
Yeah, you could have done that.
Because they tried to fill it in with the animated series and then different video games and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I think
there was a lot to the Clone
Star Wars
Wars.
Battlefront 2
has
like a bridge between episode 2 and episode 3 where you play as like that group of clone troopers, the 501st division.
Yeah, well, there's even Republic Commando and shit.
Say that
was a lot of fun.
Fucking insane. Yeah, I don't know, man. I forget that we have so much in common and we never see each other.
That's true, man.
You got to get your hair cut more, dude.
You're so much fucking older than me. We can't.
Dude, I don't even want to know how much older I am than you. How old are you now?
22.
I don't even want to know how much older I am. Asks him how old he is.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm 22. I actually turn 23 in 23 days.
Yeah, he can barely drink, dude. This guy.
dude, what?
You're like as old as my van is.
I'm younger than your van. Like,
That's pretty much. Yeah.
well, I told you about this when you were cutting my hair. How Dave got in the argument with me about the Sega Genesis. And I was like, I never had a Genesis. And he's like, how did you grow up with us, but you didn't have a Genesis? I go, dude, I am 10 years younger than you are. Like, or 8 years younger than him. And I was like, Dave, you want to hear something fucked up? And he goes, sure. And I go, when I started high school, you were my age.
Phew.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
When I was a freshman in high school, you and Dave were my age right now.
Damn.
So, like, that'd be like me being friends with a kid that's 14.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, nothing wrong with that, though.
No,
You know?
especially the kind of
He's cool.
Well, shit. You and Christian were like 14, right? When we were at 4th Street.
Yeah, and we were still Christian
That
was
was
going to
fucked
4th
up.
Street.
We told that story, didn't we?
I think Dave was talking
story,
about that.
you know?
How Christian would just show up at
And
4th
he
Street.
was there.
There's just dudes doing cocaine and shit.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that story.
Yeah, that was fucked up. That was fucked up.
He turned out all right.
Yeah,
He actually
he
turned
did.
out extremely
he
well
did.
adjusted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good, man.
Maybe that's the way to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Just do
Get it
coke
out of
in
your
front
system.
of kids.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they
Maybe
turn out
Don't
okay.
do this.
definitely don't do
It's
that.
the rule I told my sister when she was leaving for fucking to go to school in Buffalo this past semester. Like, I go, Monique, there's only one piece of advice I can give you. I go, if you're ever at a place and people offer you a drug that goes in your nose, don't do it.
No,
pretty
but,
much.
but at least
Literally-
be there because you'll turn out good.
Yeah, literally, I go, do anything else. Don't tell me about it, but do anything else, but don't ever put anything up your nose. She's like, why? I go, because it's usually amazing.
So I remember there was one night after like a burn show, we went back to 4th Street and I played against you in Guitar Hero.
Okay.
And we played Hangar 18. Nice. And it was the closest fucking game of Guitar Hero I ever played.
Wow,
and you
nice.
beat me by like this much.
Nice.
I was so upset. There was like, there were some kids that were real good at Guitar Hero around here.
Mm-hmm.
Al Serrano is one of the best I've ever seen, which was hilarious because he never really played any other games with us, but he would just. I remember
Dude, Hangar 18 was just so goddamn like you had to have cardio.
Yeah.
because
Well,
it's
who
like
did Hangar
17.
18?
It's
Megadeth.
Megadeth.
Okay, that was in Guitar Hero 2.
There's like
Yep.
it's a solo, and then there's 2 seconds of not solo, and then it's solo again, and it's
Yeah.
constant for like 3 minutes.
I remember we had Guitar Hero 2 at Brandon Trail once. Well, not once. We had it there all the time. But Wes beat every song on Expert except for Freebird. And Al Serrano
Freebird's
comes
just that's another one that's just
Yeah.
the same thing over and
and
over.
Al
over.
came in and barely beat it. He barely beat it. Like, he was literally flashing red for the last minute of the song.
Yeah.
And he beat it, and then we freaked out and never touched Guitar Hero 2 ever again. Oh, man.
Yeah, 2 and 3 were fucking amazing.
3 is my favorite, but that's also the one that was my first one, was 3. And I remember,
I just
I
miss
was-
like the late nights hearing the clicking of the fucking guitars because the TV was turned down.
yeah. I remember playing. Wes had a bunch of people over, and it wasn't like a party or anything, but everybody was over like over the summer to go swimming and stuff. But everybody else was playing on Expert, and I could barely play on Medium. And everybody basically sat there and bullied me into getting good at Guitar Hero.
Nice. Awesome.
Like, every time I fucked up, I didn't even play hard. Like, they made me go from Medium to Expert because
I didn't play
it
hard
was like
either.
a score
I skipped-
multiplier or something if you played on Expert.
I skipped hard. I went straight to expert because you pretty much get the feel of it from you get a grasp of it just from
and
playing medium.
playing on Expert is like riding a bike. Like, once you do like 2 or 3 songs, you were golden.
And you can't play any
Lower,
difficulty lower because
yeah.
it doesn't feel right.
yeah,
no,
it's
it-
literally just getting
'cause-
used to where the buttons are, and it's good.
Expert's expert mode in Guitar Hero is like heroic mode in Halo. It's the way the game is supposed to be played.
Exactly.
I put in Halo 5 last night, and I was like, I'm going to play through the campaign on Legendary because I don't think I've done it. And I realized I had already done it. And I was like, wow, why did I do that? Because Halo 5 wasn't that great. But I started playing the first mission. I was like, okay, this is cool. And then I realized that it just feels like every other shooter ever. And it didn't have anything special to it. I was like, yep, this is why I don't play Halo 5. Master Chief Collection's where it's at, dude.
It's coming out for PC soon.
Yeah. Yep, immediately getting that. They should just put that on pre-order right now and make all the money. Mm-hmm. So,
whoa, let's
I think
see that one again.
What's that?
This broad I know that goes to SU.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. What?
She lives in Maryland. That's why I've been obsessed with Maryland lately.
Oh yeah,
or is
it's
it
a
Jersey?
Maryland
No,
thing.
her. I think her mom lives in Jersey and her dad lives in Maryland. That's got to be such a shitty life, dude. Your parents are divorced, but not only that, they both live in the two worst states in America.
We're 3 hours in, I think, right?
I think so. Probably. It's 9:30.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can wrap up, I suppose.
You guys want to rock?
Unless you guys have anything super important.
I was just gonna say, like, just to end it on this. As much as I loved Guitar Hero and all that, there will be nothing to ever beat me. Like, get me. There was nothing then that got me that emotional than playing drums on Rock Band for the first time.
Yeah.
That was just the coolest thing.
Yeah.
That was just so fucking awesome. And it's still so fun to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I still only want to play drums if Rock Band is happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't even let me
It's like
look
you're
at the
just
drum
gonna-
set when we play
No,
together.
it's mine. I actually
It's my
bought
drum
it.
set.
I bought it for like $20 because I went down to Infinite Lives when it was still here, and I was like, "Do you guys have a drum pad for Rock Band? Do you have one, please?" And they were like, "Well, we don't have a price on it, so we'll just give it to you the price of a regular controller." And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome."
That's why they're out of
Because
business.
there's no way that probably
Like, they
'Cause
were
you
too
could
nice,
not get one on the
basically, yeah.
internet for $20. There's no way.
But yeah, so thanks for coming on, Joe.
Dude, thanks for
having
having
I
me.
didn't talk over you too much.
No.
Yeah, anytime you want. I mean, we usually we have a pretty decent cycle of
relaxed schedule.
guests though. Like we kind of cycle people in and out.
Yeah, I know Jesse wants to be on because he lives next door to me now, or behind me. His backyard is connected to my backyard, which is pretty cool.
Perfect.
That's
So
sketchy.
he wants to be on, but we're taking a week off. We're taking this weekend off.
Yeah, because this one we're gonna wait and
Yeah.
hold on to it until
Publish it
Monday.
later. So yeah, it was
So
very
that's
cool,
it.
man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
No problem, man. It's been fun. We'll see you guys next week, I guess. Go to
Technically.
clearshotspodcast.com for all this shit, and we're on Twitter, Instagram, all that cool shit.
Steam.
We're on basically everything. So
We're on Steam now too.
yeah, we've been on.
We've
Steam.
been on Steam. Yeah, now we're. Do I have to change my Steam name to Clear Shots?
Yeah,
Jig?
you should.
I'm just gonna switch it to Clear Shots Jigs.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon. ClearShotsPodcast.com is where you'll find links to everything we do. You can check us out on Twitter at ClearShotsPod. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and check us out on Periscope for live videos. If you have anything you want to ask us, send us an email at clearshotspodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. We will see you next time.